from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke with another, again, unannounced live stream, but I hope that you can understand. It's it's Saturday morning, and where I am, it's day off for me, but I'm just setting up here. Okay, here we go. So, greetings, and once again, this is nothing of any dire consequence or serious import. At the same time, I have not been in the situation or in this position where I'm able to regularly upload videos, and that's due to just finally settling down and catching up with my sleep more than anything else. So that's the trade-off, as it were. I guess it's not a trade-off though, because I think live streams are really quite lovely. Also, I do want to take this opportunity to announce the first Superman discussion live stream schedule, which I will then further announce later. So. But anyway, my dear friends, thank you so much for taking the time. I don't want to take up too much of your time today, but I just wanted to stop by and let you know what's going on. Again, nothing of dire consequence or serious import, but just wanted to touch base with you. And of course, for my benefit too, is to see you and to talk with you, because as I mentioned, I haven't been able to get back into a regular rhythm with regard to the YouTube channel yet, but hopefully that will return very soon. So anyway, thank you very much, and the live chat is open for everyone, and so please feel free to let me know how you're doing in the live chat, and hope all is well. So I do have a number of random topics that I might bring up today. I don't know how long I'll be on, maybe about an hour or so, but we'll see how things go. So before we get anything further from my side, let me now go to, oh, sorry, the wire is, there we go. Before we get to anything from my side, let me just fix that, and then I'll go to the live chat and we'll go from there. So first we have Matthew James. Hello, Matthew. It's nice to see you. And Farhan is here. Hello, it's nice to see you. Matthew Lockwood is here as well, so thank you. I think I just responded to you. If you recall, we were talking at this time last week, about, I think it was wristwatches. So I don't have a wristwatch on right now because it's early morning. I was going to put one on, but I don't know which one. I'm for those of you who know wristwatches, you'll probably know the initials JLC. So I really admire JLC, and there's a specific type of watch which they have, which they're very famous for, which is called Reverso. So, but anyway, Matthew, I hope that all is well. Let's see here. Mikhail Carrillo is here. Hello, it's nice to see you. And Farhan says, long time, just happened to be in YouTube now. What a pleasant surprise. Thank you so much. Yes. Cheers, my dear friend. Oh, let me show off the Jaws side. So cheers, my dear friend. And Into Gray, it's nice to see you. Very nice to see you. I just read your comment, Into Gray, by the way, about, was it arsenic and old lace? So I haven't responded yet. I'll try to get to that very soon. So thank you. Rider rated 18. Thank you. I hope you're well. I hope you're well, my dear friend. So I haven't been to London in such a long time. Certainly not, during the recent years, of course, because of world events and the like. But I think the last time I went to London was prior to, gosh, am I going to say prior to the year 2000, Y2K? That stuff. So it was a long time. So I'm due back. I really want to go back very soon, but excuse me. But travel plans and the like have been halted for a number of reasons. But maybe one of these days, when things become a little bit calmer. Yes, but London. So this was pre 2000. So this was still, gosh, there were I don't know if there's sort of like HMVs and Tower Records, and there was my dad too. When he was alive, he used to live in London because of his job for a little bit there, and so my mom and I would visit, and or when I was a little bit older as a kid, I would go visit him by myself, and it was a great time. It was a really great time. I'm still a big fan of the of the um, I don't know if they still have them anymore. The Kinder eggs, those eggs, the chocolate eggs with a little toy inside, and the oh gosh, dime bars. I've mentioned them before. Dime bars. I'm a big fan of dime bars, and I'm a big fan of. We've mentioned this before, my dear friend. I know we've talked about it, but Lucozade. So I'm a big fan of Lucozade. I love Lucozade. I think the Lucozade is like one of the greatest inventions ever. So I'm because unfortunately we don't have Lucozade here in Japan. Fortunately, there are other beverages of choice that are Japanese beverages of choice that I enjoy. But there's something very special about Lucozade. That flavor, that look, that yeah, that that unexplainable spark of genius that's located within Lucozade. So anyway, I hope you're well, my dear friend, and cheers. Jared, it's always nice to see you. Jared is, I must say that, like, Jared, I mentioned it before, but I'll say it again. He is, like, Jared is one of the people who I think he watches and comments on every video that I've done. That's the extent of his friendship and support of me in this channel and of all of us. So, Jared, your support and your yeah, it's always noticed, my dear friend. So thank you so much, and don't worry, you don't have to stay if your schedule needs you to go elsewhere. Of course, my dear friend. Of course, I hope you're well. And John is here. And you say, I've caring for my mom the past few years, so haven't been around. Good to see you again. So, John, warmest regards to you and warmest regards to your mother. I hope all is well. And it's always nice to see you. Of course, no pressure at all. You need not stop by if scheduling does not permit. So, of course. And I'm not, I won't take it personally. I'm not offended by that because we each have our own schedules. But the YouTube channel and the videos will be here, fingers crossed, so you can always visit even years after the fact. And so even now, I get the occasional comment from, I don't know if anyone's interested, but they have this thing called YouTube Analytics for people who do YouTube channels. And I think my what's the phrase? I think the most popular videos that I have on the channel at the moment, are the ones that I still continually get views on, are I did this thing called like what is it? The entire Criterion collection from Spy Number 1 to Spy Number 927 in 4 parts or something. I was just sitting there and showing each of the Criterion titles, and I think that the first one in particular gets like it's always constantly getting watched. So I don't know, for good or for bad, I'm not sure. So that's one thing. And then the other one that gets a lot of watches, I think, is the video discussion that I did on the Criterion release of from the mid 1970s, the film. It's of the Pasolini film, which is called Salo, 120 Days of Sodom. So I've I've received a number. That gets a lot of watches. So, and I think it's because, due in large part to perhaps the notoriety that is associated with, say, the aura or the reputation about the story and the content and the film itself is a very intense, and it's a film that's not for everyone. There are a lot of things about it that are encapsulated within the film that are quite difficult and challenging and indeed very unpleasant. and very confrontational in that way, from in terms of a viewing experience. So, but for one reason or another, yes. So those are the videos that get a number of the views even now, and those were made, I think, like a few years ago, even more. So, so John, I'm sorry, I'm mentioning this because the videos will still be up, and so and people still comment, and so you can always stop by and watch them. You don't have to be absolutely current because, as I know our schedules are things can happen, and so we are always busy with things, and so it in that way, I consider it a great honor and privilege and pleasure, and I take it very, very importantly that that the time that you are willing to spend out of your very busy day, yeah, even if it's just for a little bit, and stop by in this channel. I'm very appreciative of that. I know you don't have to do that, but I'm very appreciative of it because of that, because I know time is precious. So thank you very much to John, and thank you to all of you for being able to stop by even if it's for a little bit. Thank you so much, and I hope you're well. Thank you. Cheers. Maddie K555, it's nice to see you. It's great and warm. I hope all is well. Zay Moderno is here. It's great to see you as always. Melvin Moten, hello. Hey, hello. Yes, it's nice to see you. Magic Owl said, Ohio, Mr. Beppu. Greetings from Liverpool. Oh, thank you. And please, Mr. Beppu, you're very kind with the Mr. But please, call me Daisuke. Please call me Daisuke. You know, Mr. Beppu. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I don't deserve. I just call me Mr. Not call me Mr. Call me Daisuke. You know, all my friends call me Daisuke, so please call me Daisuke. I'm very, very honored. And Ohio. So I don't know. Are you fluent in, or are you studying Japanese? Because I know the use of the hiragana to spell out Ohio, which is good morning. So thank you very much, and greetings from Liverpool. Oh gosh, that's another place that I'd love to visit one of these days before it's too late, as it were, for me, as I'm getting older in years. But Liverpool, yes, yes, well done. Home videos, it's nice to see you. Very hot here in London, as you say. Oh, in Tokyo, it is also very hot, very, very hot. It is it's gets into the 30s Celsius here, so it's quite hot. Although I must say a number of things. So first, today looks like we are gonna get some rain. Not raining yet. It's early Saturday morning, but that's the weather forecast. And then also, I'm living on the first floor now, and so it's a little bit cooler than where we were living before. We were living before in a fifth floor apartment. Now we're living on a first floor apartment, and so there's a little bit more of the. We are protected by the shade that is afforded to us from the nearby trees. So I'm very, very happy about that in terms of protecting us from any unwanted additional sweltering heat, as it were. But still, yes, make sure that you keep up with drinking water and any other of the of replenishment that is needed, because right, that's what we're told here. Uh, just walking out in this very hot weather for 10 or 20 minutes, that can really do a number on one's body. So just make sure that you are well hydrated. I certainly do. So anyway, my dear friend, I hope all is well. Future Wizard 97, it's nice to see you. You say, I've been back from Mexico, so I can finally attend these live discussions. It's nice to see you. Thank you. Eddie's Films and Stuff is here. Hello. And it's great. I'm just scrolling down here. Scrolling down. Oh yes, Farhan. Yes, if I am in London, yes, or if I'm in any part of the world, if anyone out there is interested in a meetup or something, please let me know. I'll try to make those announcements ahead of time, in advance. This year, 2022, I don't think we're gonna make any plans to go outside of Japan. So, but anyone who might be visiting Japan, please feel free to drop me a line, and I'd be very happy to meet up if that's okay with you. So anyway, let's see. Trevor's here. Cheers from Minnesota. Oh, it's nice to see you. It's always Culture Dog, our dear friend Culture Dog, the legend. Culture Dog. It's nice to see you. Greetings from New England. It's great. Oh gosh, it's always nice to hear from you. The legend, Culture Dog is a legend. Um, let's see here. So John, greetings from County Antrim. And let's see, next is SIFR, Cipher. Hi from Los Angeles, Daisuke. Hope you're settling in from the move. Thank you very much for asking. Yes, so it's been about a week and a half since the move proper. And so I can show you if you like. I don't know if you're interested. The Criterion discs, the Blu-rays and DVDs are on that side. So they're all, and I've checked the numbers, and I'm probably gonna go through the numbers once again just in case. But I think all the spine numbers are accounted for from one, and then to what's the one that I have most recently? Oh, I have Pink Flamingos up there, but then I have the most recent ones on a separate shelf because I'm still going through those. So including also the Virgin Suicides and up to Drive My Car. And so yeah, and then yeah, it's all settling in, and then as far as everything else is concerned, yeah, we're the family is we're I'm very I love this place. I'm so excited. The area nearby, again, it was only about 10 minutes from, or not even 10 minutes from where we were living before, but already there are so many differences. Like there's so many restaurants um nearby, and there's a I like chocolate bars, and so there's you can go to a convenience store, kombini, here in Japan. Although lately kombinis aren't necessarily always 24-hour operations because they had to curtail their working hours. But there's one store nearby which is not a kombini; it's an actual supermarket, but it's 24-hour supermarket. And so I'm very happy about that. You can get my favorite kind of chocolate there. So I don't. I try to resist urge to go there at night because I don't want to eat chocolate at night, late at night. But the urge is there in terms of going out and buying a little piece of chocolate. But anyway, yeah. So that's one example of the area. It's very exciting here. Also, this is an area that is I might have shown it on Instagram, but there's a lot of a love for Ultraman, Ultraman. So very just there's a lot of the feeling and the vibe there. Also, again, this is not meant to promote my Instagram channel or Instagram account by any stretch, but it's just I don't know where else to put it except on Instagram, which is, so I have an Instagram account. It's called Daisuke Beppu 4, because I think there were 3 other Daisuke Beppus in the world who got Instagram accounts before I did. So I'm Daisuke Beppu 4. It's the number 4, Daisuke Beppu number 4. It's all one word. And so if you're interested, you can, and it's the same picture that I have, that kind of that weird black and white, like I'm from an angle. It's like that picture that I have. I should really change that picture. I maybe make it a little bit more colorful. I don't know, but anyway, so it's that same picture that I use for my YouTube avatar, and Daisuke Beppu for Instagram, and on that, I I I've discovered the real function, which is the thing where you can post a video and then put some music on. So I didn't know about that before, so I was so excited. Oh, this is so cool! And you can search the music thing, and you can find all the accepted license usable music pieces that you can use. And so oh, this is so exciting. And at the same time, I've been enjoying walks in the morning. And so I mentioned it before here, but where I'm living now, it is very close from Toho Studios. And so Toho Studios is you can just walk there from here. So I've been there at least I was thinking, oh gosh, maybe every morning I should walk to Toho Studios. That would be really treat. But I think I might um I might not do it every morning, but I've done it 3 times already in terms of the past, say, week or so of morning walks. So some of those videos are indeed up on my Instagram account. So if you are interested, you can check that out. I edited one together, and you could see the Godzilla statue in the front, and you can see the huge mural of Seven Samurai, and you can see all that. And there's actually something in the distance. You can see Mothra in the distance, Mothra. It's in color too. It's really cool. I didn't know that. But then and then I put the music of one of the Gojira films over it. So if you are interested, and you can check out Instagram. So it's not a replacement for my activity on YouTube, but it's just a different thing, and I do maybe a little bit more, and maybe personal things there. So people often ask me, do I have Letterboxd? And I tried Letterboxd, but I just just I always forget things and I can't keep up. I think Letterboxd is great, but again, it's just I wish I had more time in the day. You know what I mean? So, but I am doing Instagram, and so occasionally I will make a photograph or take a picture of of a Blu-ray or something that I'm thinking about or watching at a particular moment. So, and I'll just put it against it, and I'll take a picture. So it'll be like, oh, this is a film that for whatever reason I'm thinking about or watching at the moment. That's the meaning of it. So if you are interested in anything that I might be thinking about in the current moment, you can always check out the Instagram account. Also, the Instagram account is probably the fastest and most direct way to reach out to me. If you want, for any reason, to talk to me directly, you can always reach out to me via the Instagram Messenger app. If I don't respond to everything, I apologize. I try to, but if you are interested, you can do that. So I'm please no spam, no. If it's kind of I don't like spam messages. If I get things like that, I'll probably just I'm a bit more I'm a bit more, how should I say, protective of that stuff on Instagram, because I consider Instagram a little bit more of a personal account for me. But I've been very fortunate so far in that I haven't been getting any kind of a lot of odd or weird messages on Instagram. So, but that's my way of saying to you, if you do want to reach out to me for anything, don't hesitate. Please don't be shy. You can always reach out, and I'd be very happy to talk about anything. I usually like to respond with what's the on Instagram. It's there's a thing you can record. You can record, and the reason why is because I dropped my iPhone, and so my iPhone surface is cracked at the moment, and it's still working fine, but it's just cracked. And so I think one of the things that is a result is, I think when I try to use the keyboard, the letter A, it's a little bit difficult to register. So I have to press it like 3 or 4 times before I can get a letter A. So it's very I think cumbersome for me to type. And so what I'll do instead is I'll just record an audio message as a response. So and anyone is interested, you can check out the Instagram account as well. So I do put up film related stuff and also non-film related stuff as well. So, all right, what was I? Okay, so let's see. Um, let's see. Trevor asked. Oh, let me see. Hold on, I skipped one here. Oh, Farhan is talking about Lucozade. Lucozade is one thing keeping me alive in the unbearable heat. Please stay cool. Stay cool. To quote George Clooney in From Dusk Till Dawn, be cool. All right, so be cool, my dear friend. Be cool. John mentions Iron Brew. Yes. And Trevor says, I can't remember seeing many videos where you discuss books. So I don't. There are many topics of interest that I have, but I just don't address them on the YouTube channel. I think it just happened. I think almost or naturally or organically, I suppose. I tended to gravitate on YouTube towards the discussions of films, but there are a number of things that are sort of, preoccupying me of late. So I don't know, I have a, I don't have a stack of books, but I have the on the table there. I can maybe I'll try to show that sometimes what I'm reading at the moment. It's nothing of any uh, any large thing here, but non-film related stuff oftentimes. But anyway, yes, I can always, if you were interested, I can always let you know. But um, let's see. Eddie's Films and Stuff has a message. Oh, hello, hello, Dice. It's nice to see you. Sponge is here. How's your day going? It's good. It just started. It's now 7:23 a.m. I woke up at 5:45 a.m. I guess it's one of those things where I don't know. I don't feel stressed out. I don't. There's nothing on my mind now. In fact, I feel more relaxed now than I was in my previous home. So I feel very, very relaxed. So, but still, I'm waking up without any alarm clock. I'm waking up 5:45, 5:30. I don't know why, but anyway. So it's just, and I couldn't get back to sleep. So, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm enjoying a nice coffee with my Jaws mug. Oh yes. I'm just scrolling down, scrolling down. Let's see. Sorry here. Dan is here. It's nice to see you, Dan. Eric, it's nice to see you. Thank you so much. Um, 123 Rock fan. Facing the crowd. Oh, well done. Yes, so facing the crowd. So I can assume. Oh gosh. I hope that's. Oh, that's just interesting. Oh, interesting. I'm sorry. The shelves for the um, the lasers haven't been finished yet, and so this shelf is actually in the middle of the room, so you actually can see a little bit of the sunlight creeping out through the curtains, which is on the other side. That's interesting. But anyway, let's see. Hans von Gruber is here. Hello. So, what are your thoughts on Lars von Trier? You mean the works of Lars von Trier? So, I haven't spoken so much about Lars von Trier here directly. Maybe I think the closest I came recently was in the context of uh, um, the Dogma 95 film discussion and the recent release, or not I guess, yeah, from earlier in the year of the work, The Celebration. So in that context, I think Lars von Trier maybe came up a little bit, although it wasn't the direct focus of the conversation at the time. So I haven't spoken about his works directly here, although I have mentioned a number of experiences that I've had, very memorable ones, especially during the period where it was in the, I would say, 90s or so, when his works were getting a lot of international acclaim and release and exposure. And so during, especially during the 90s, so that was again, one of these days, maybe I should try to focus more on that. But anyway, thank you so much, and I hope you're well. Well, something happened here. Okay. Oh, Cooper Glover. Cooper Glover, it's nice to see you. You say eating at Denny's right now. Yes. Oh, great. Eating at Denny's. And that is a great combination. So you say here, eating at Denny's right now. You might see this comment after I leave the restaurant. I think Salo is an artistic masterpiece showing what a government can do with their power. So thank you very much for this comment. I appreciate it. Yes, Eric Pieper also says Sam Hatch is in the house, the legend. I think Culture Dog is a hero to many people. Like a true legend. So Chris B is here. Yes, you don't have to work today. I don't have to work today. That's right. I have a day off. So and Into Gray says picked up the red shoes. Oh, good job. I hope you enjoy that. That's a real delightful film. Let's see. Um, Mikhail says, last night I saw Unforgiven for the first time. I'm still amazed. What a great movie. Oh, interesting. So Unforgiven. So this is uh, I remember my dad my mom and dad loved that film. I love that film. And the what was it? Uh, that was it was a huge film, especially at the Oscars that year, as you may know. And so I remember too. Wow, what a film that was a film where it was there's a lot. What's the phrase? To borrow a phrase that's often associated with Sergio Leone, and in particular, Once Upon a Time in the West. You know, it's a film that, in particular, is something to do with death, and that's a very haunting work. And I find too what it shows and what it doesn't show, and there's a kind of power in the word. Um, and you have almost a sort of a powerhouse of combination of performances. Uh, Richard Harris, Morgan Freeman, and Gene Hackman, and Clint Eastwood. So that's the powerhouse there. Wow, what a powerhouse! And then you see the power dynamic shift between and among these characters as you go through the film in very, I think, oftentimes surprising indeed quite shocking ways in certain examples of that power dynamic shifts. But and then there's a right. I remember the joke that Billy Crystal made at the Oscars that year. And he's he quotes a line in the film. He says, I'm building a house. I was building a house. So, yes, so everyone just laughed in the auditorium that day in the Oscar ceremony. But anyway, yeah. Um, oh gosh. And I think in the medley, Billy Crystal in the Oscars, if I recall, was making reference to Paint Your Wagon as well. So I don't know if you know Paint Your Wagon, but anyway, um, I hope you're well, my dear Seth. So thank you. Let's see. Matthew asked, "Do you collect Godzilla action figures?" So I don't collect action figures or anything like that, but or hot toys or anything like that. I'm I don't know if I mean you probably know there's a great YouTuber. There's a channel that I watch. I haven't been able to watch regularly since the move because it's been a bit hectic. But there's the guy. What's his name? Robert Meyer Burnett, and he's got this great following and this great wealth of knowledge, and I love his channel. And I remember the first time I became aware of him, he was always talking about hot toys, hot toys. And I was saying, what is a hot toy? I don't know what a hot toy is, and I discovered it. But I don't collect them or anything. But I think I admire them from afar. But I'm not necessarily into models or action figures or collecting like that. Say when I was a kid. So I wish I were. It's just I think more so than anything, it's space and it's money. So I don't have I'm very limited when it comes to both departments, unfortunately. So, but if I had both, if I had more of both, then maybe I might go in that route or that direction. But those are very cool. Let's see. Oh gosh. Let's see. Just scrolling down here. And so everyone is very kind with the Mr. Criterion, Professor Daisuke of Criterion, Lord of Criterion. I thank you so much. I'm very flattered by that. I don't uh I don't have any direct association with the Criterion collection. I don't even I love the Criterion collection. Don't get me wrong, but I don't even follow their accounts or anything like that. And I think it's because I just there's I don't know. I always like to think about Criterion through their releases. And I always like to think about Criterion and experience them through the films that they're releasing on their particular monthly releases and also the supplements. I always think about that. That's how I connect with Criterion. I I always get nervous whenever I email Criterion. So I emailed Criterion just a little bit because I had a damaged disc in in one of the releases I had. I think it was Secrets and Lies and the Marlon Riggs set. Yeah. So in each of those releases, one of my discs was damaged, and so they responded to me very quickly. They replaced both of them after I explained what the issue was. So I was, but that was the last time I oh, and also I had to email them because I think one of the releases I had was missing a book. So I had explained the situation and showed my receipt, and they very kindly replaced the book or provided me with a replacement book. So that was it. But you're very kind. Yes, thank you. I don't know. I just like how should I put it? I I don't I always I don't think of this I don't personally think of this channel as a kind of Criterion channel related channel per se. I guess, but I suppose it's because of I do like Criterion very much, and so and I find a lot of pleasure and a lot of learning experience for me personally out of watching those releases. I'm also the first to admit that it is not the only place to go when it comes to, say, one's ongoing cinema journey. And I know that it's just one one tiny little thing in the whole spectrum of cinema. So I totally understand that. And so and I always try to not try, but I try also to talk about, say, quote unquote, non Criterion releases as well. And I'm also very open and receptive to hearing people talk about what they find unsatisfying about the Criterion collection, certain releases, certain choices that might have been made in regard to, say, presentations and the like. So this is, yeah, so thank you very much. For your lovely attention in the context of Criterion. I'm very receptive to that. I'm very touched by that. Thank you. But also for anyone who is not necessarily in the world of Criterion per se, or who might find pleasure or satisfaction through, say, non-Criterion means. Of course, that's. I mean, it goes without saying. You're always welcome here as well. So, but as I say, for me personally, in my own personal journey experience, I find a lot of satisfaction, a lot of pleasure, and I keep going back to them. And finding new things, finding new discoveries. So, as I mentioned in video two, why I like Criterion, one of the reasons why I like Criterion, I guess it could have been any label perhaps, but it just happened to be Criterion, which was, it also offered me a type of way to discover films that I wouldn't necessarily have thought about watching on my own. So I can take recent examples like, for instance, let's see, AMOFE. This is my desire. For instance, I probably wouldn't have been able to catch up with that had it not been for the Criterion release from, say, a couple months back, or Pharaoh Amour. That's another example. So I'm looking at the shelf here. Let's see. So, or maybe I don't know. I wouldn't have. Um, I wouldn't have maybe rewatched some of the films I'd seen many years ago, but uh, didn't manage to catch up with later. So, for instance, I can say too that maybe I remember talking about an upcoming release from Criterion, Eve's Bayou. I'm so excited about, but it's just you know. Uh, Revisiting this film after many years, and so I'm just very excited, very excited about that story. So that's the type of opportunity and excitement that I'm having. But of course, this is for me and my own taste, and also too, I don't have unlimited funds. I just have a very limited budget. So if I had more money, I would love to do this with as many labels as possible. But I don't have the means, and so these are titles that I you know they're not what do you call it, review copies or anything. I'm not a professional reviewer or critic, so I don't receive review copies, but they're all paid for out of my pocket. So through like pre-orders and online orders and the like. So I'm very limited when it comes to funds. So and so it just happens. Well, I can fit in a little bit for Criterion, and so okay, let's focus on that. And I think I'm getting a lot of it. Maybe I would be in a different situation had I made the choice early on to do this for, say, some other label that was around at the time. So, but when I made this decision, I think at the time, for instance, Arrow wasn't established yet, as it were. So that was way back when it was essentially Criterion and the DVDs at the time. So more or less. But even so, I wasn't necessarily like a hardcore thinking about all the spy numbers and anything until a little bit later. But anyway, thank you so much. Thank you very much, my dear friends. I'm very, very flattered. Thank you. Mike, greetings from Edinburgh, Scotland. Hello, Mike. It's nice to see you. Um, Trevor Renstrom is here, who's also in Minnesota. So thank you. Let's see. Matthew mentions Indiana, northeast corner to be exact. You're finally home. Is here. Hi, Daisuke. Greetings from Durham, England. I recently finished the extended version of The Tree of Life. What a journey. Oh, gosh. Yes. The extended version. Yes. So that's the version, the quote unquote, the alternative version that I think. Yes, you're referring to what can be found on the Criterion release. So that is a very interesting release version, I must say. It has a lot of similarities, but there are certain twists. If you know the quote-unquote theatrical version, there are a little bit of slight differences that make for, I think, an interesting and maybe even slightly, or maybe not so slight, made quite significantly different viewing experience when it comes to that. But very rewarding indeed. Well done, well done. Hats off to you, my dear friend. Let's see. Oh yes, Kay Pontes is here. Greetings from Brazil. This is Cassius. Are you familiar with any Brazilian movie, Astronomy Limite? Oh yes, so which is included in the World Project Cinema Volume 1 set. Yes, yes. So I don't consider myself to be an expert in any cinema from anywhere in the world, including I'm not an expert in Japanese cinema or U.S. cinema or cinema of Brazil, but I have seen not a number, but I've seen some works. Yes. Um, Mike says, "Is Japan an accessible country for people who only speak English?" There depends on where you go, but I think if you go to a city like Tokyo, which is considered in many circles to be quote unquote a type of maybe it does have a certain position in sort of the international sphere. So there are you will likely find people who can communicate in English as well. So I don't know about, I can't speak for anywhere else in the country. For instance, another place that I used to live in England, Japan, which is called Sendai. Although Sendai is getting bigger in terms of the population and sort. But anyway, yes, yes. Um, Scrolling down here. Sue Murray is here. So hello, Sue. And you say, good morning to you, Daisuke. I just got out of work in Connecticut, ready to settle in with a good movie tonight. Probably something new from my recent Criterion haul. Oh, I wonder what that is, Sue. Please let us know. I hope you enjoy, and please have a nice, relaxing time, especially after a day's work. Right, Connecticut too. I might have mentioned it before, but I used to live in Connecticut. Um, I went to high school in Stamford, Connecticut, and let's see. I I remember I rented a lot of movies when I was a kid from the public library in Darien, Connecticut. I seem to recall that I was able to rent a video free of charge. For example, the Kurosawa film, it was the Kurosawa film Seven Samurai. You could rent that from the Darien Public Library. But the box of Seven Samurai at the public library had a picture, not from Seven Samurai, but had a picture from Yojimbo, which is a different film. It had a picture of Yojimbo for the box for the tape of Seven Samurai. So that was really cool. Also, I remember incidentally, you could also rent individual episodes, or I think it was like videotapes, 2 per videotape or something like that, of the Twilight Zone. So it was very exciting indeed. Yes, very, very exciting. So, and also I remember when I was in high school in Stanford, and I also went to university in New Haven, Connecticut. So I've spent a lot of years in Connecticut. So there's a lot of yeah, I have a lot of connections with that place. Although unfortunately I haven't been able to make any visits in many a year. But what was I saying? Oh yes, so I remember there was a competition that I took part in high school, which was essentially reciting passages or chosen monologues from Shakespeare. And I there would always be these people would attend, and it would be what 15 people or something. I went 2 years in a row, and I got runners up both years. I didn't place, but I got runners up, and so the one that I was I remember was King Lear. Yeah, I did the speech from King Lear. Uh, the speech of banishment. So, and I remember afterwards, someone came up to me and he said, you gave me a really nice compliment. I'm not an actor in any capacity, but this person came up who was attending in the audience, and he said, I think you really did a good job, and I was very thank you very much. I was just whatever a high school student at the time, and he said, you really and I still remember this. And not because it was a compliment towards me, but it was just such a I'd never heard this description before, which is you seem to uh, I admire how you focus not on the text, but on the white space in between the text. And what he was referring to specifically, I think, was you have a printed page of type on a page in a book, and you're reading, but there's space in between the text. So what I think he was referring to, there was something about focusing in not on the text alone, but also on the space that occupies the stuff between and among the typed letters on a given page. And I think that's a type of metaphorical way, or maybe a way to say, there's a way to try to look. What's the phrase that's often used? Look beyond the word, or look different levels. I really love that way that he expressed it. Again, not because it was directed towards me as a compliment, but it was I've never heard that before at that time, and so and it always struck me, focusing on the stuff between the words when one reads, and I think that can be applied to when watching a movie. There's something about this the moments in between the bits of dialogue, or the moment, like I always thought of it like the moment in between a cut. You have an edit here and here, and it's a quick edit. You have a shot and you edit to another shot, but then what about that moment in between, that that quick moment? What happens there? And that you can associate with many things, like um, montage, and the idea of the psychological effect on the individual when it comes to what it's amazing how the edit and the montage can have such a profound psychological impact on you. And you can bring this to many things. You can bring this to, say, a a a type of emotional reaction to a film. You can relate it to things like visual medium propaganda. You can also relate it to things like, I don't know, like maybe a type of visual representation or metaphor for the idea of how the synapse in the brain works, and sort of the electrical charges and impulses. Anyway, what was I bringing? Oh yeah, so Connecticut. So all this is coming from Connecticut. So anyway, Sue, I hope you enjoy your evening after a long day from work, and I hope you're well. And please let us know what it is you ended up choosing from your recent Criterion acquisitions. I hope all is well. Thank you. Yes, Crispy's mentioning I have a sweet tooth. I do love sweet foods. Josephine DeMarco is here. Hello, it's nice to see you. That's a horrible show. Okay, the horrible show. Excuse me, I always get this. A horrible show. So, can you do me a favor right now? The horrible show. HORRORABLE show. So check out this YouTube channel. It was one of the great discoveries that I had in the past, say, just, oh gosh, one of there's an Instagram account, there's the channel. It is one of the greatest, funniest things. Oh, it's so clever, so humorous. Um, there was this thing I couldn't stop laughing. It was this thing about having all these copies of Fulci's The Beyond. I was just just I couldn't stop laughing. It was so great. The horrible show. So HORROR. I think I'm gonna type it in the chat here. Maybe can I do that? Let's see. Can I do that? Okay. I hope I got it right. Is that right? There we go. Oh, I think that's right. There we go. Horrible show. I think I just put it in the chat. So if you're interested, please check out that channel. Really, really cool. So thank you so much. All right, where was I? Here we go, just scrolling up here. Let's see. Scrolling down. So Mike is here. I'm just gonna skip a little bit of the comments. I can't read out all of them. I apologize, but HBIC is here. So you say, I love your video. Thank you so much, HBIC. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Let's see. HBIC is mentioning Days of Heaven. Yes, yes. Arlene Armstrong is here. So hello. So you say only discovered your channel recently and was so impressed by your Nightmare Alley review. Thank you so much. It's Nightmare Alley, the Criterion Collection release. I think we discussed it. It's a few months back, I think. And you say it's my boyfriend Harry's birthday. Oh, so happy birthday, Harry! A happy birthday, Harry! Warmest regards to you and Harry. I hope all is well. And Manchester, yes, Manchester. Oh gosh, I visited Manchester once in my childhood. It was a really lovely time. We had a family had some friends there, so. But let's see. HBIC, what are your August announcement title predictions? I am so bad when it comes to the prediction thing. I can always give you my hope. I'm always hoping for an Edward Yang film announcement. If they or Kazuhara, I love, yeah. If there were a release of, say, any Edward Yang film, I think I could stop. I would be, yes. Uh, yeah, bliss. Yes, bliss. But anyway, but that's not to take anything away from any other release or any other announcement. I have heard, again, I don't have my ear to the Criterion, say, winds, as it were, but I do know, or have heard through the grapevine or through other people that are much more closely attuned to this than I. Inland Empire, David Lynch's Inland Empire might get some attention from Criterion. It's just a matter of when. Also, I have heard about Kieślowski's the Trois Couleurs, Three Colors trilogy, and so that would be in terms of re-release. I think in terms of the 4K format. So that would be very exciting indeed. There's a moment in Bleu, the work Blue, and I've never been able to get it out of my head. It's just a very brief moment. It's involving the character portrayed by Juliette Binoche, and she's walking, and she's walking, and there's like a stone wall, and she's walking, and she drags her fist along the wall out of some kind of expression or manifestation of frustration or some kind of torment or pain. both physical and emotional. So there are so many moments in the Trois-Couleurs trilogy, but for whatever reason, that moment always that that really freaked me out when I first saw those films, when they were released way back in the day. So, but anyway, yes, but I'm not so good when it comes to the Criterion predictions. I'm very bad actually. So, but anything I'm very welcome to. So anyway, let's see. Future Wizard 97. So I hope you're well. Agu Lagoon. Greetings from Maine. So hello. It's nice to see you. Roscoe is here. It's nice to see you. I drink your milkshake. Hello. And then there's a discussion here about Malik works. So, just scrolling down here. Sorry about this here. HBIC is mentioning Picnic at Hanging Rock. That is one of the works that yeah, that's a great Criterion release. Although, as much as I love that Criterion release, there are some interesting points to be made about that work in terms of the release versions, what you're getting versus what you might be getting outside of Criterion. But the film itself, what you're getting in terms of the Criterion release, and that version on the Criterion release is quite magnificent. It's a really creepy film, such a creepy, beautiful, ethereal, uh, very. It's one of my favorites from Criterion, actually. If I had to mention, did I do this? I've always been going back and forth trying to talk about my top 5, top 10 Criterions. I can give you what are my top 5 Criterions right now? It's Mishima, Life in 4 Chapters, Late Spring, the Ozu film, A Brighter Summer Day. Yeah, I mentioned Yang. Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, and what's going to be on that 5th spot? Oh gosh, yeah, I'll say yeah, the DVD Fishing with John. That'll probably be it. So that's my top 5. Okay, at least as of today. So, all right. Caleb Cushing is here. Caleb, and you say followed on Instagram. Thank you so much. And you say thanks so much for everything you do and for fostering such a cool online community. Hope the move is going well, went well. Thank you so much. I do absolutely nothing. You're very kind to mention this concept of online community, fostering it. Um, I, I, I have no one but you all to thank. I'm not doing anything really. I consider myself very fortunate to be able to be part of this group. Right, that you are a part of, that people are a part of. So, no, but thank you so much. Thank you. I feel very fortunate just to be accepted to the group as in that way. So thank you. Um, Thank you. So, and Mike is talking about Paul Thomas Anderson. I Drink Your Milkshake mentions also here Blue Velvet. Um, let's see. HBIC mentions the Fellini pizza box. Yes, you're referring to this. So it's not in it. These shelves have not been arranged yet, so they need to be further arranged. So as you can see, they're inside out, or maybe there. So I have to do that. That's my next project for this weekend. Hopefully, I can finish it this weekend. It's Zaz5Y. Says, good morning, Daisuke. Just recently bought Army of Shadows. So Melville, Jean-Pierre Melville. Well done. Yes. So that was the recent re-emergence of that work, which had been hitherto, I think, in the realm of out of print, at least in Criterion land. So well done. Yes. Let's see, scrolling down. Gerald, it's nice to see you. Yes, hope the move went well. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Just picked best you Carrie from 70, Harry and the Hendersons on Laserdisc. Yes, Carrie is the first mutant on film, not the X-Men. Oh, interesting. I know. Oh, interesting. That's very interesting. There's Harry and the Hendersons. Yes. Oh, well done. Adrian, it's nice to see you. And and Daisuke, my cat's stuck in a tree right now. What do I do? Oh gosh, I don't know if this is a comment made in jest or if it's a real comment, but in the in the chances that it is a real comment and your tree is stuck in a or not your tree, but your cat is stuck in a tree right now. Oh gosh, I'm actually kind of sensitive about pets because at this moment, because in fact I didn't mention, but my we have a family dog, a Chihuahua Koharu, who's not feeling very well. In fact, she's quite sick, and we're it's actually a kind of serious situation. So, but we're trying to take care of her as much as possible, our pet. And so I'm very sensitive when it comes to pets. So in the chance that this is an actual earnest comment in terms of the situation, I'm okay with jokes. I'm very happy with, I like to joke as much as the other person. But in the case that this is describing something that's actually happening, I very much hope that your cat can get down from the tree as much as possible. And I'm reminded of the scene from Superman, the movie, and getting the cat from the tree there, which is a really lovely scene. But in any event, warmest regards. And if indeed your cat is stuck in the tree, I hope your cat can find comfort in being taken down from the tree as quickly and as painlessly as possible. All right. And if it's a joke, that's okay. I'm very happy with jokes as well. It's all good, right? If it means everyone is okay at the end of the day, it all works out for me as well. So thank you, Kieran C. Yes, thank you so much. Arman Esfandiari here. Hello, it's nice to see you. You had mentioned Lars von Trier, so that was also something that we spoke about a little bit earlier. Mitchell Thomas is here. Would like to know your thoughts on Studio Ghibli films. A big fan. I haven't spoken so much about Ghibli films. I've maybe spoken a little bit. My favorite Ghibli film is perhaps Omoide Poro Poro, or in English it's known as Only Yesterday. Let's see. Um, Scroll down here. I haven't seen there. I'm noticing the Paul Thomas Anderson discussion here and the like. So, I have not yet been able to catch up with the Licorice Pizza yet. So I need to watch that very soon. Um, let's see. I'm curious if you have seen or if you've enjoyed any Zeman films. So we spoke about actually the Zeman uh, uh, Criterion release. So there are a number of videos on this channel, HBIC, in case you're interested. So very exciting. So scrolling down here. So let's see, just in the interest of time, I'm just scrolling down. If I skip over the content, I apologize. So HBIC, thank you. Ed Topo is here. Thank you so much. Uh, let's see. Gerald Lang talks about the American Monsterverse of Godzilla and Kong. I haven't spoken about those directly yet, so there's there's I think much to say. Maybe one day. Let's see. Deluge is here. Thank you so much. Lorenzo Barney Hanpan mentioning Fists in the Pocket, and you say, "Wow, yes." And you say you're finally home. Says, after years of searching, I finally purchased a Blu-ray copy of Clue. Oh, is Clue out of print? Is that why? I don't know. I hope not. Clue is one of the it's one of the staple films of my life. Clue. I love Clue. I really love Clue. Um, yes. It's yeah. Uh, gosh. Um, there's no need to shout. I'm not shouting. All right, I am. I'm shouting. I'm shouting. I'm shouting. And this is like the, oh, yeah, that's great. I love this. That's a great. 1 + 2 + 1, right? Right. 1 + 2 + 2 + 1, right? Or 1 + 2 + 1 + 1, right? Wait, 1 plus, well, yeah. Anyway, or 1 + 2 + 1. Anyway. Yes. Okay. I hope you enjoy Clue. I love that film very much. Okay, scrolling down. Let's see. Scrolling, let's see. So again, I apologize greatly. Again, I might have to end this maybe in a few minutes here. But Caleb Beecher is here. Hello. Finn is here. Hello. Inframagine is here. Hunter is here. Hello. And if I skipped over anyone, please just, I apologize, just maybe type in something again, and I'll try to mention I'll mention your name here. And I Drink Your Milkshake mentions Mike Lee and Naked. Yes, I've seen that. There's a moment in the film Naked. Mike Lee's naked, and there's so many famous moments, but the one that is, I think, the key piece of dialogue is something that's said to the main character, which is, "Don't waste your life." That is a key piece of dialogue, I think. Anyway, yes. Um, let's see. Sponge. Let's see. Marlo's here. You're looking 10 years younger, mate. Oh, thank you. Oh, gosh. Thank you so much. Yes. Maybe it's the haircut. I don't know, man. You're very, very kind. Um, you're very kind indeed. Um, Hunter mentioned the Wonka Wife box set. Oh, congratulations. Congrats. Which would you suggest watching first? You don't have to watch them necessarily in chronological order. That might be a good kind of way to go in terms of the order of the films that you find them in the set, but you don't necessarily have to. Maybe if I you could probably, um, although it probably is, it's exciting to go in the chronological order. So with the first disc, uh, anyway, yeah, yeah. But I hope you enjoy it. It's great. We have spoken about the Wonka Wai set here on this channel as well. I think what was it? It was talking about the set, and then talking about each film in individual videos that went like, I don't know, nearly an hour each. I don't know what. Anyway, yeah. So something like that. I would very much love to hear your thoughts. That's you don't. It's not. That's not a plug for, you don't have to watch the videos. It's on the channel if you don't want. I don't mind. But that's my way of saying, if you want to talk to me about your reactions to the Wong Kar-wai films, you can always let me know. Probably the easiest way for me to keep up with the context would be maybe as a comment to those videos, but it can be in any form that you're comfortable with. Whatever works for you, my friend. I hope you enjoy the set. Oh, horrible show. Thank you. So you're referring to the Argento films. I haven't yet seen the recent Argento work. Um, I don't, what is it? Dark Glasses, I think it's called in English or something. So I haven't been able to. I just ordered though the David Cronenberg film Crimes of the Future. I guess I have to order or pre-order the Argento film. I think there's a release in Germany. I'm not sure, but I have to figure that. I haven't seen that yet, so I can't. I don't know where. I haven't seen the possibilities for streaming, but I did get the recent Arrow release with the Arte Originale of version of Tenebrae, the early '80s film Tenebrae. Um, well, what a film that is, huh? Tenebrae. It's a horrible show. You know that film, I know, because of your great wealth of knowledge for cinema and horror films and the like. So, yeah, it's so cool. HBIC is talking about the mentions Come and See. I have spoken a little bit about this film as well because the Criterion release, I think, a year or so back. So Gerald says, "Did you pick up the Criterion Designs Art Coffee Table book? It's cover the Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're talking about the huge, like, kind of whitish or cream, maybe the same color as my shirt right now. That Yeah, I have it here. Do I have it on the shelf? It's on the other side. Yeah, yeah. It's. I was very fortunate to be able to get it when it was being published. It was a huge thing. It is a huge thing. I love that because it's got the. Or should I get it in? Do you want me to? I can pull it out now if you just hold on for 1 second while I get the book. Okay. Let's see. Is it here? Yeah, here it is. There we go. All right. This is what you're talking about, right? This one, right? So this is great because, or great for a number of reasons, but my favorite thing about this book is in the back, it has the pictures of the cover art designs for up to a certain point, and among them, we have the cover art designs for the Criterion Laserdiscs. I love this. This is this is the coolest thing. This was in many ways one of the reference materials that I relied on. It wasn't the only one, but it was one of the reference materials I relied on when I was trying to track down as many of the Criterion Laserdiscs as I could at the time. So yeah, so it's a great resource. I don't know if they ever did an update to it, but yeah, it's really cool. Let's see. Deluge is talking about a Jisoji film. Yes, Transient Life. This Transient Life is a donut. Yes, yes, yes. I haven't spoken about it on this channel, but I've seen it, yes, many times. It's I had plans to talk about the Jisoji set. I'd maybe like to revisit that set or revisit the opportunity to discuss those films, but those are very challenging films. And but we'll see, but I am a big admirer of Jisoji's work. Mike is here. Mike Eli, our dear friend from Las Vegas. It's nice. I haven't, and as I say, I've mentioned before, but I haven't been to Las Vegas, and so I love Las Vegas. I love Las Vegas. I want to go back to Las Vegas. I love Las Vegas. You know, I don't consider myself a gambler, but that atmosphere, just walking through and that feeling, oh, just walking down, what is it, the strip? Oh goodness, that's such I get like tingles, chills, and the like. So, oh gosh, and just oh wow, wow. But anyway, just walking. Gosh, one of my dreams would be just going back to Las Vegas and listening to I don't know, "Gimme Shelter" by the Rolling Stones and get that Martin Scorsese vibe or something. Oh wow. Anyway, let's see, and um, let's see. Amen Saidun is here. Hello, it's nice to see you. And you say Daisuke has great style, heavy weighted t-shirts and specs. Yes, thank you very much for noticing my style. Yes, yes. So yes, I don't. I mean I don't know if I don't like particularly tight fitting clothing. I'm more comfortable with a little bit more loose fit. And this is just a shirt. It's not. It's that. Yeah. It was just a very. I think we got it because it was at a good price. Now the glasses are another thing though. I'm very proud of these glasses. Because, and I mentioned the story before, but I very gladly mention it again, which is these glasses are a brand which is from I think it's Holland, Preciosa. If you are interested, you can also there's information about it on my Instagram account as well. Again, not a plug for the Instagram account, but if you are interested, there is some information about the glasses and the brand. You can buy them still. There are many ways to, but there's also a different brand of glasses in I think the United States that sells. It's my understanding it's the same model. It's under a different name and under different branding. And so there's a lot of history. There's a lot of I think unknown history for these brands. This is the version or the model or the branding that you can find under the out of Holland, which is Preciosa, Preciosa. So, but this is also because this was the model that was made available to me in that shop that I visited however many years ago in Japan, or online, I should say. And so and my life changed because, as I've mentioned before, these glasses remind me of the glasses that George A. Romero wore when he was doing interviews and the like. And also it's the type of glasses that I think Ace Rothstein wears in Casino. Speaking of Casino and Martin Scorsese, when he's talking about the meeting in the desert always made me nervous. You see the reflection of Nicky Santoro's car as it's driving up into the desert when they were going to meet in a very kind of confrontational scene around the middle of the film Casino. But anyway, so the glasses are very important to me. I don't wear these glasses all the time, but I do wear them because they remind me of George Romero, who's one of my he is an artist who gave me so much happiness and growing up. You know, I've mentioned how much Dawn of the Dead film just meant to me. I mean, it's a horror film. It's kind of gross, and it has this almost a fantasy like aspect to it. It is also one of the most important films of my life growing up. Dawn of the Dead is one of the most important films of my life, and you know, it came. I discovered it in a time too when I wasn't I maybe I wasn't going through the easiest time in terms of my growing up and adolescence, and I had many issues, and I still have many issues to this day. But I had many issues at many points of feeling depressed and feeling very down. And it was cinema that was one of the places that I could go to and just maybe it didn't make everything feel totally 100% better necessarily, but it meant I could, there was a place that I could go to and just feel a little bit better. And one of the films that really brought so much of that joy and happiness and thrill to me was Dawn of the Dead. And then, so based on that association I have with Dawn of the Dead, anything to do with George Romero, including the look, means a lot to me. And that's where the glasses come in. And that's why I wear the glasses, or one of the reasons why I wear the glasses is because it reminds me of George A. Romero. And so I affectionately call these glasses my George Romeros. So these are my George Romero glasses. So I'm yeah, but they are Preciosa. They are called, if anyone's interested, Preciosa Model 940, L size, large size. Do you want me to type it in the chat if for anyone who's interested? Okay, Preciosa Model 940, L size. There we go. It's in the chat in case anyone's interested, and I think that's the model size, yeah, I hope so. I hope my memory isn't doing tricks on me. But anyway, yes. So very important to me, and I do know too. I remember when I first got these glasses and I put them on. It was like, these are so, how can I do this? I feel so nervous. I feel so kind of you know, there's this feeling of being self-conscious about it and maybe not going through it. And I do remember too that I especially during the early days, I got a number of comments saying, "Oh, those glasses are goofy. What are you doing?" And people saying, "You those stupid glasses. You should take them off." And I just kind of just bared with that and say, "Yeah, I know they look stupid, but they really do remind me of George Romero." So and I'm not one to say that I'm in any way in the same league of coolness as those icons, but it's just my way of saying, just paying respect in my own way, I suppose, to to right, uh, right, the artist who was able to show me the glory that is the gonk. Wow, that's just one of many reasons, one of many examples. But anyway, thank you so much, and I hope you're well. Luke 99 asks about Jubilees. I think I mentioned it. My favorite probably is Only Yesterday. And I mean, goes on. You say, I love his love and passion for Criterion movies and movies in general. Great to see his angle and view on this. You're very kind. Thank you so much. Thank you. Um, all right, I'm sorry, I'm just scrolling down here if I'm skipping over. Omesh is here. Thank you so much. Yes, Traveling Players. It is. Yes, I've been watching the Traveling Players once a week, or about once every 2 weeks actually, for the past few months, in preparation for the discussion. Actually, there is so much to say, and there's so much history. There's so many details that I have to be sure that I get right. So I'm doing just a little bit of catching up with that, but it's on its way. I don't know when it'll land. I keep saying it'll come, but you know, there's a move as well. But that is a phenomenal work. The Traveling Players, the film. This is uh, Angelopoulos work. The Traveling Players. This is one of the grandest works ever, and I don't know. I hope that one day it'll be made more available in terms of physical media or whatever. I think at the moment the DVD is out of print or something, which is a shame if that's the case. It really should be in print. That is, wow, one of the great films, one of the great films. Wow, the way that time and history are interwoven, sometimes in a single shot. It's okay, but anyway, I'm getting way ahead of myself. But anyway, yes, it's coming up very soon. Raymond is here. Raymond Rodriguez, our dear friend. It's nice to see you. MC Huber, hello. You have left behind a super chat, a Canadian $5. Wow, wow. That's very, very kind. And you're mentioning film noir. You're watching a lot of film noir, so if any recommendations you have for me, or I don't know if I have any recommendations. I don't. Gosh, I suppose I could mention. I mean, maybe it's not if we're talking about film noir in the context of, say, Criterion. It does have a lot of film noir aspects to it. There's a Double Indemnity, but MC Hoover, thank you so much for this live, what is it, super chat, $5 Canadian super chat. Thank you so much. I am I mentioned it before. You know, I never try to emphasize, you know, people making donations or anything like that. But at the same time, I do admit that donations always help. Donations do help um, because in terms of being able to make some purchases of my own and the things that I want. This will probably help me when I end up trying to get the new Dario Argento work on Blu-ray or whatever. So, but thank you so much for that. Very much, MC Hoover. That's very kind. I hope you're well, my friend. Thank you. Seth Walsh is here. Pink Flamingos just ended. My first viewing. Yes. So yes. Yes. Um, Pink. Yeah. I love Pink Flamingos. I love Pink Flamingos. That's probably one of my favorite releases of the year so far. The only weakness of that release from Criterion is that they didn't include the commentary track to the extra footage part of it. At least I don't think so. If maybe it's a hidden Easter egg, I'm not sure, but Easter egg, Eggman. There we go. That's all connected. Yes, eggs. But yeah, that is what a film that is. You know, uh, I always think twice about touching a stair banister in any place before, you know, because of Pink Flamingos, because if there's a certain scene involving a banister, stairs, yeah, and the like. So there's a lot to say about that film. So yeah, I wonder what I'd love to hear your thoughts about that, Seth. Um, and so thank you so much. All right. Great. Horrible show. Yes, I mentioned the channel. So, there's so many great YouTube channels out there. I wish I could plug them all, but let's just take a moment to plug again. Horrible show. Can we push up Horrible Show's subscriber count? Can we? Can we bring it up there? A Horrible Show. I don't know if you're on. But do you? Is there a target number that you're thinking about? We can always try to push it up here, and the like, and we'll go from there. But let's see. Kokomo is mentioning here the remaining Edward Yang films are in the process of being restored as we speak. Now, I've heard this as well. I don't know anything of the details. If there is any specific, say, article or any resource that you could point me to about this, I would be very, very appreciative, my dear friend. Thank you so much. I have heard this too, but and I don't know how much of it is true, how much of it is rumor and the like. But if there's any kind of article or something that you can point to, let me know about this. I'd love to hear about that. That's great news if that's the case. Wonderful. Thank you so much for letting me know. Thank you. Martin Schechter's here. Have you seen the HBO television program Veep? So I haven't seen it. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it. But you're in New York City. I used to live in New York City some time. Let's see, used to live in Astoria, Queens for a little bit. And then I lived in near Union Square in a basement apartment that was very small. And toward the last few weeks that I was living there, there were a lot of rats there, so it was kind of a odd experience. But it was great in other ways too, because it was near, very close to the Strand bookstore. I love that place, the Strand bookstore, and also Union Square, the Criterion part of the Barnes and Noble store there, which was great. And I mentioned I mentioned some celebrity sightings there and the like. And what else? What else? But the Strand bookstore, that was one of the. I love that bookstore. That was amazing. That was such an amazing place. Yeah, I spent so many hours. Oh my goodness, it's great. Great. Anyway, um, and anyway, so I hope you're well. I hope you're well. So, Benny Boy is here. You say, hope your move in went well. Thank you very much for asking. Yes, always a pleasure to spend time watching your content. No, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you, thank you. Sly Snide is here. So greetings, greetings. Um, let's see. Chris Sanchez is here. Uh, oh gosh, thank you so much, Chris Sanchez. You're very kind. Just scrolling down here again. I apologize for not being able to read all the comments. Matt Flaherty is here. Yes. Razor Wire reviews. Another hero. Luke is another hero of mine. So thank you very much. Yeah, he's oh gosh. Um, yeah. Luke is such a lovely person. So thank you very much, Matt. Thank you. I hope you're well, my friend. 5 bags of popcorn is here. It's nice to see you. Zero Lang mentions the Samurai. Yes, yes. Raven Q222. Yes. Shaw Brothers. Yes. When is Volume 2 going to be released? Do you know? I have Volume 1, which is one of the epic releases of recent memory. But I don't know. I haven't been on the upkeep when it comes to the recent Arrow release. Although I have my eye on the Videodrome re-release, the 4K. So, um, yes. So thank you so much for scrolling down. 5 bags of popcorn mentions the show Adult Swim called On Cinema. I don't know this show. I haven't heard this. A mock film review series spanning 12 seasons. It's on YouTube. Okay, I'll have to check it out. Um, is it similar to something like, what is it? Like what's that? Documentary Now or what was that? Yeah. So if it's like that, I'll try to check it out. There's so many shows I know nothing about. Like I was getting my haircut, and the barber in Tokyo, and the barber was mentioning to me, because he's also a film lover, and he mentioned to me the series. What was it called? The one. What's it called? The Offer. The one. It's a dramatization of the making of The Godfather. So I didn't know about this until like he mentioned it, which was I got my haircut a few days ago. So I've been very curious about this. It looks very interesting, and I saw the preview or the trailer for it, and it looks very interesting indeed. So anyway, oh gosh, I have to go. I'm still I'd love to do the discussion, the live stream discussions on The Godfather. Oh, that's another film, or that's another set of films. Just yeah, yeah. Uh, I know it doesn't get a lot of because there's so many iconic scenes in the Godfather films, but the one that I, for whatever reason, it always gets to me. And I don't want to get into too much detail for those who haven't seen The Godfather, but it's in Godfather Part 2, when Tom Hagen is talking to Pentangeli, and they're talking about, the Corleones were like the Roman Empire, and Tom Hagen says it was once, and they're smoking their cigars. When a plot against the emperor, I can't do a Tom Hagen impression, but when a plot against the emperor failed, the plotters always had a chance to let their families keep their fortunes. And Pentangeli, but only the rich guys, Tom. Let's do it. And thus nothing happened. And their families were taken care of, Tom. It was a good break. Nice deal. Yes. Yes. Don't worry about anything, Frankie Five Angels. And he says, thanks, Tom. Thanks. Ah, yes. We'll have to talk about The Godfather very soon. Very soon. Anyway, why was I mentioning that? Oh, yes, because of the show The Offer, which I was talking about because you mentioned On Cinema. So I'll have to check out On Cinema. So thank you very much. Okay, scrolling down. Um, Scrolling down. Sam Lowe is here. Hello. So there's a Shout Select sale. I didn't know about this. I'm totally off the radar when it comes to the recent news. So gosh, I wish I could take part in that, but I don't think I can. But I hope you enjoyed the sales, whatever is going on. Jer Tui is here. Hello. Chime Dorji is here. Hello. Um, Oh, Adrian says, Daisuke, my cat has been retrieved. She says, greetings from Santa Cruz. Okay, well done, well done. Yes, yes. So thank you so much. So all's well that ends well. I'm very glad to hear that, Adrian. Very glad indeed. Um, let's see. Again, I'm so sorry here. Oda is here. Thank you so much, Oda. It's nice to see you. And You're Finally Home is talking about Clue was only ever available in the UK as part of a limited edition release from HMV called the VHS Collection. Ooh, that's interesting. It's been out of print. Oh, thank you very much for that information. I did not know that. That's interesting. Very interesting. I'm very glad you were able to get that. Oh, Gerald Lang mentions Ashes of Time. That would be, yes, one of the things about the Wonka Wai set, or the Wonka Wai set, well, the films that it didn't include. So it would have been interesting if there could be a quote unquote definitive release version of Ashes of Time. It includes maybe say different iterations, as it were. But as we know from the Wonka Wai set, you didn't get that for most, except one exception. But for most of the films, you didn't get different versions, and it would have been nice to see because of the restoration, quote unquote, issues that were associated or that are associated. I mean, I think I'm on record. I think in the discussions where I said that I think a lot of the attention, the negative attention, was given towards, in particular, Fallen Angels, that release and the restoration release. Although I think the Fallen Angels restoration release is quite beautiful, and it does things that are that that take it to a different place. In terms of the use of black and white versus color, and the like, and it's really quite fascinating. So, and also the frame, the aspect ratio, etc. So I get the criticism, but I was actually on the positive side of that when it came to Fallen Angels. What I was what I reacted to somewhat maybe less than positively was the way in which the music soundtrack was treated in the restoration version of Chungking Express. So that's where I prefer the pre-restoration version because of the way that the pitch was changed. So in two key areas of the song. But anyway, if you're interested in that discussion, you can check out the discussions that I had on its particular Fallen Angels and Chungking Express. Anyway, Neil Gibson is here. Hello, it's nice to see you. Nicholas B. Johnston is here. Hello. Respect the Face is here. Hello, it's nice to see you. Respect the Face says you should do a 24-hour live stream in your Criterion closet. That's very kind of you. It's I wouldn't call it a closet per se. It's just a space. But it's 24 hours. I don't think. Gosh, it's hard. I'm 24 hours. That's very kind. Thanks for the. We could do, what is it? What do you call it? What's the phrase? A telethon. Uh, Donate now, and you get we'll give you a mug, or something like that. Or I can, what would be the thing? Give out free Criterions. I do have some like doubles and triples of things. I don't know if I don't know what the logistics would be to giving those out in a kind of telethon manner, but that might be an interesting thing one day if I ever decide to quote unquote retire from the world of Criterion, as it were. But at the moment, I do have some doubles and triples. I do have some things actually that then fell out of print. For instance, I have someone mentioned Days of Heaven. I think I wanted to get a second copy of Days of Heaven, but that was before it fell out of print. So, and I wanted to get it for a friend of mine, but then I couldn't find the friend, so I just had just a copy, waiting for it. But anyway, um, and then I think there was we were able to get the another Blu-ray of Nashville somewhere, and that was also before it fell out of print because that was why did we get a second copy of Nashville? I forget the reason why. But anyway, yeah, that might be an interesting idea one of these days. But let's see. Um, Reissue updated version of that book. Oh, is that 700 pounds on Amazon? Marcus Walker. This is 700 pounds. They referring to this book? 700 pounds? I didn't pay 700 pounds when I got this. That's wow. Is it wow? Is it real? I mean, oh, I mean, gosh, it's a great book. Don't get me wrong, but um, I mean, 700 pounds. Wow. Well, Marcus, if ever you're in Japan, just let me know. You can always come over and just read the book, and then save on 700 pounds off of Amazon, and just let me know. Of course, that you might have to spend the money elsewhere in terms of the plane ticket, but but I hope it's the sentiment. It's the sentiment. In other words, yes. I hope all is well. Razor Wire reviews is announced. Yes, and yes, this is for you. This is for you, my dear friend, my dear friend. I hope all is well with you and your family and friends and loved ones. Really, yes, that's lovely to hear from you. And my warmest regards. Yes, yes, lovely. Mike Eli says, "I'll buy you a beer next time you're in town in Las Vegas. Please do. Yes, yes, we must go. I'd love to go back to Vegas again." Zachary Bryant is here. It's nice to see you. Hold on. Oops. Razor Water. Okay, Chronologic is here. It's nice to see you. Dawn of the Dead. Um, you say, I joined the live stream. You speak of my favorite horror of all time, Dawn of the Dead. I love you. Thank you very much. The right back at you, my friend. Razor Wire, why is your comment? Oh gosh. You sounds like you're going through a rough time, and Dawn of the Dead showed up at the right moment. And we've got this man. Yes, that's right. That's right. Uh, yeah. Although I should mention again, I don't want to go into too much detail about Dawn of the Dead right now, but I really must say when they're putting the trucks in front of the doors there, remember that sequence? And there was a sequence where it was like, I forgot my bag. I forgot my bag. What they should have done, they should have waited a little bit. They should have waited until the zombies maybe had dispersed a little bit. Then they could have gotten back and gotten the bag. They shouldn't have done it immediately. That's what I'm saying about that. They should have waited a little bit. But just to make sure that they were not so condensed into one area, because as you know, the more condensed an area is with zombies, the more dangerous it is. But anyway, that's one thing I'd really say. But it's also the same thing with Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead, there should have been a contingency plan. There should have been Plan B, Plan C in terms of the complex. There shouldn't have just been just one wall, and that would have been it. They should have had a contingency. They should have had different exit routes that they could have made in that missile silo complex. But oh well. Oh well. It's the same thing too with Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead. I think the best way, in my view, would have been not. Is it should we stay in the house or in the cellar? Should we go in the cellar or not in the cellar? I would say go to the second floor. Go to the second floor of the house and block the stairway. That because there's only one, unless the zombies can climb, which I don't think they can. Although maybe they could, in terms of their dexterity. They seem to show a little bit more dexterity in Night of the Living Dead than they do in the other films, right? Because of the rock and the brick and everything at the beginning. But anyway, I would have said, to Harry and right, I would have said to him, no, Mr. Cooper, let's go to the second floor. Let's go to the second. We only need to block the stairwell. We can do that. We can still look out through the windows in case we need to call for help. And I would have said go for the second. They were at the second floor during the film anyway, Night of the Living Dead, with the Molotov cocktails and all. So I don't see why they could have brought everyone up there. But anyway. I hope you're well, my friends. I hope you're well. And speaking of which, Night of the Living Dead 4K Criterion coming very soon. Let's see. Um, Talking about chronologic. Those glasses are great for peripheral vision, right? So peripheral, yes, I think so, because they cover a lot of the face. Yeah, thank you. Elliot Levsky is here. It's nice to see you. Nice to see you. Um, Speaking of, nice. Oh gosh, great, great. Nosferatu is here. Favorite Criterion you own? Um, I don't know what favorite. Favorite Criterion. And my favorite release is probably Mishima, Life in Four Chapters, but that's not to take anything away from any of the release, of course. Mm, yeah. Hmm. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what my gosh, what my absolute favorite one is. Oh, that's an interesting question. Interesting question. But anyway, it could be. What could it be? I'm not sure. What could it be? Maybe Mishima or Brighter Summer Day or Late Spring. But again, I have to think about that some more. Um, Scott is here. It's nice to see the gong should be as heralded as much as Romero himself is. Um, Warren says, evening from the UK. I was wondering, next to Criterion, do you have a second favorite label to collect? I don't know if I collect it as much anymore. Um, I do have my share of Powerhouse Indicator, Eureka Masters of Cinema, Arrow, but not to the extent of many other people. Um, at the moment, I think I'm kind of, how should I put it? I'm kind of also a shout and just a little bit of Vinegar Syndrome, but not as much as others. And let's see, there are some Japanese labels, although the Japanese labels I would say are probably not, they're not of the same, say, collectability, let's put it that way, as others. Um, what else? Is there another one? Um, there are other things outside of cinema that I'm interested in, but uh, not, yeah, in terms of labels, yeah, that's probably it's Criterion for me at the moment. But yeah, you know, incidentally, I don't know if it answers the question, but the I am, what am I trying to get next in terms of my next purchase? I've been trying to. Oh yes, I do like the Kino. It's the I haven't been able to get the order the Kubrick films. You know, the 4K releases of those, but I think those are great. So Kino, I think Kino Studio, yeah, Kino Lorber, I think does a really great job. That's a great label. Warner Brother Archives, I think is really great as well. So I don't have all of their releases, but I think they're really wonderful, really wonderful indeed. There was a period where Kino did some releases of, say, Agatha Christie adaptations. I was so thrilled about that, like Death on the Nile, the 78 version, 78, right? 78 version with Peter Ustinov and Jane Birkin and Simon McCorkindale and others, and Angela Lansbury. So that's the one to watch. I don't mean any disrespect to any Kenneth Branagh fans out there, but yeah, that's the one to watch, Death on the Nile. But and also, um, what is it? The Kino also released the Witness for the Prosecution, and then also Ordeal by Innocence, which is a weird, quirky film. It's a very famous Agatha Christie novel, but it stars Donald Sutherland. Really weird, quirky, but it has a type of almost giallo, Italian giallo feel to it, with a really really interesting use of music, I must say. But and also Evil Under the Sun and the like. So anyway, yeah, I hope that answered the question, Warren. I hope you're well. Let's see. Oh, analysis of sci-fi is here. It's nice to see. Yes. Livid, yes. Fear of stairs, banisters. Yes, we're making a reference to the comment I made about Plink Flamingos, I think. Scott is here. It's nice to see you. Yes. Nice to see you. Let's you too, Pop Mofo. I hope you have a nice Obon holiday. Thank you so much. Thank you. Mary Quiet is here. It's nice to see you. Yes. Um, oh, is there a link to the Kokomo's following up with the discussion on Yang? Thank you so much for that, Kokomo. I appreciate it. Raven Q222 mentions Shawscope Volume 2, November 22nd. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. What gaming is here? Hello. You said, greetings from Upper New York State, guys. The beautiful nature reminded me of the early 1990s show Twin Peaks and David Lynch's works in general. I was wondering if you had a favorite of his. Oh, I don't know if I could name a favorite Lynch work, but each in its own way is very special. It has a very special effect on me. So maybe, for example, I can say, oh gosh. What's one that I haven't, maybe I haven't spoken about a lot? What's one I can talk about? Well, I guess I mean, spoken about Eraser, not one. I've spoken about Elephant Man a little bit because of the Criterion release. I haven't spoken a lot about Blue Velvet, or I haven't spoken a lot about Twin Peaks. I've spoken a little bit about Fire Walk with Me. I haven't spoken a lot about The Return. Um, not spoken a lot about Wild at Heart. Lost Highway will save for when the Criterion release comes out. Although I would like to tie in something. It's my hope and dream that we can actually I'll hold off on mentioning that. Wait until what is it, October, when Lost Highway is released. Maybe we'll get more Lynch in there. But anyway, yes, the what's one that I could mention off the bat here? I guess I could say that, and I've mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. I think for me, the one of the greatest lines of dialogue I have ever heard in my life, ever, is from the film Mulholland Drive, where one character says to another, "Don't drink all the Coke." That, to me, says everything and nothing at the same time. And that is, I think, the perfect example, the perfect crystallization of what David Lynch means to me. Don't drink all the Coke. So anyway, there we go. Big Bonez is here. So hello, it's nice to see you. Too many films, not enough time. Yes. Joseph Clark, sorry if you've been asked this before, but have you ever seen Red Letter Media? Yes, I have. Yes, Red Letter Media. Rich Evans. I remember the thing that he did when he what was it? Star Wars. And that thing where he has like a kind of meltdown reacting to a Star Wars trailer or something like that. So there's that, and also, you know, I can't do a good Mr. Plinkett impersonation, but it was the pizza roll, the pizza roll. So yes, I know Red Letter Media. Yes, I don't know them. I know of them. I'm a fan. Yes. So, but yeah. So I think I I I what yeah, I haven't I don't know lately. Um, but I really liked their, especially during the right when they just exploded with like their episode one stuff. That's like the right. It's like poetry. It rhymes. I mean that has become now iconic. I think because of Red Letter Media more than anything else. But anyway, yes. And Five Bags of Popcorn. I love that Big Trouble in Little China is Daisuke's favorite film. Yes, it's one of my favorite films, Big Trouble in Little China. I love that film so much. I love that film, Big Trouble in Little China. Joan Serentil is here. Hi, it's nice to see you. And oh gosh, is there someone? Can someone help me with this? There is a someone talking about. There is a spam thing here on the channel, the chat. So please ignore the spam. I think spam is very, very rude. Whoever does spam like this at the very end is doing such a rude thing. Very, very rude. So please, please, I apologize for this. Can we try to delete these or block these? How do we block these? This is really not, yeah, this is very, very rude. How do I block this? Channel, this is very, very rude indeed. I don't delete comments except these sorts of things. So, there we go. Yep. Okay, we'll delete this. All right, just deleting this. Really, really rude. I'm sorry. I find this. There we go. Are they out? There. As I say, I don't delete comments. I find that comments that are made, even the critical ones, the negative ones, the ones that say, oh Daisuke, you suck, you're terrible, those are very valuable. Those are very valuable, and I value them very, very much. And I don't always agree. I agree, I disagree, but the comments I think are very, very valuable. You can thumbs up, thumbs down. That's very valuable. You thumbs down all you want. That's fine with me. I don't mind that. But what I get very, very, I get very, I find it very rude. And here we go again. Okay. Thank you very much, Cyrother. Yes. I get very, very, I think it's very rude for these stupid like spam things to be on comments, and so whenever something is spammy, I remove it. So that's the only thing, because I think it's and if someone accidentally clicks on it and goes somewhere, that makes it even worse. So yes. So thank you very much. So let's just forget about it and move on. But I have I have a and like but as I say, that doesn't mean that you know everything has to be like, oh, Daisuke is the greatest person. You don't have to do that. You can you send me something, you say you're wrong, I don't like you, this is not good. That's fine. It's still up. It's not going to be deleted. But I don't usually like to read that sort of stuff. That's another question entirely. It's like my heart. It's been chipped away just that little extra bit that day, or something like that. But that's a very, very small price to pay. I think it's most important to be very open, or as open as possible, or just to keep it open as possible. Again, I don't have to agree with everything, but you can always say whatever it is, and people react the way they will. But spam is something that I don't tolerate. All right, let's see. Where was I? Oh, Clark is here. Hello, it's nice to see you. Yes, yes, yes. It's really nice to see you. By the way, I think I responded to your one of your comments in a video. I was like, responses to viewer comments or something. And so I mentioned one of the artworks. So thank you so much. Hold on, let me just see right here. Let's give you 1 second here while I go. Yes, Clark Tettles here. You have a, if you go to his channel, Clark Tettles right now, just to let you know, you go to, I'm at his channel. It's called, for instance, there's a video that Clark Tettles has. It's called New Pickups, Super 8 Camera and Criterion. You go to that video right now, Clark Tettles, and you can see in the corner that there is a piece of artwork there's a piece of artwork, and it's of me. He drew a picture of me, and you can see it there. So go to Clark's, if you can go to Clark's channel and subscribe, watch the videos, and just support him as well. What a great I was so thrilled. He sent me this picture of or sent me a screenshot of a drawing that he made of me. I was so flattered by this. I go, wow, wow, it's very, and he has it in the corner of his wall there as he's making one of these videos. So, so please check that out if you can. Yes, um, very good. So thank you so much, Clara. I hope you're well. I really was very 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 happy to have seen that. Thank you. Let's see. Did I skip any? Let's see. Did I skip any? Slipstreamer. I skipped Slipstreamer. Sorry about this. So Slipstreamer as well is here as well. Do you see any way around rigid Japanese company policy, which is keeping many great films from us? So that's interesting. Yes. So I don't know. I don't speak for all the. I don't speak for the Japanese intellectual property rights owners when it comes to releasing these films outside of the Japan. So I don't know. I can't speak for. I don't know of any rigid national policy, for instance, that comes to mind. Anyway, I mean, international intellectual property rights owners can do what it is that they want with the rights that they own, I suppose. So, but at the same time, I hope that as many films become made available as possible. So I think there are a lot of films that get a lot of attention outside of Japan, but then there are a lot of films that don't get released outside of Japan that are so worth it. And I'd love to be able to talk. Although there is a little bit of a way through that, as you allude to, I think very rightly. So thank you. Jovial Josh is here. Not sure if you'll see this, but I checked out Phenomena because of your Argento video, and I think it might be my favorite of all time now. So thank you very much. Oh, wow. Congratulations. Congratulations. Well done. Yes, well done. Yes, yes, yes. Phenomena, I just got or I mentioned, not that just, but maybe a little bit of maybe a month or so ago, I forget exactly, but I was able to get. I have so many copies of Phenomena. I don't know why. I have the recent 4K, and I have the earlier one, which is the Blu-ray box, which is right here. But that, yeah, um, yeah, uh, again, I don't want to talk too much about it, but Phenomena, that's one. I don't know which version. It's Phenomena, Creepers, what version. One of the great things about the Arrow release is the various versions and the analysis in terms of the different versions that you get there. Although I do like is it what was it? There's another release of it. The cover art with Donald Pleasant's face in a key moment, but it's the moment with Donald Pleasant's face like that. That's the Donald Pleasant's face that they have in there. I don't know why I probably would have chosen that moment for the Donald Pleasant's appearance on a cover art like that. But anyway, I love Daria Nicolodi in the car when you have the bee in the car. It's like, oh, the bee, oh, the bee. Oh, and then like General, no, don't kill it, don't kill it. Oh, I love all insects. I love you love them. I love them. Oh, I love, and this lovely, glorious close-ups of the insects. It's lovely, absolutely lovely. Yes, yes, and the music too. Oh my goodness, great stuff, great stuff. And talk about there's a button that one of the characters presses in a house, and it just unleashes all of these gates and things. That's a huge button you press, boom, and everything happens. It's quite amazing indeed. Um, and right, talking about there's also a particular moment where a character, I won't say who, but a character picks up a straight razor, or holds a straight razor. You see a shot of this character hold a straight razor and drop it, and there is a moment of true type of sort of pathos, true type of inward contemplation, and it's a very moving moment indeed, a truly moving moment. But anyway, I'm so glad to hear that, Jovial Josh. Well done. Well done. And then going back to Clark Kettles here, talking about writing some notes about the upcoming. You're going to review Pink Flamingos. Well done. I know how much Pink Flamingos means to you. Divine Trash is also included as well, and that, as you know, it's a great inclusion, and the like. So well done. Well done. Jack Clare is here. Jack Clare is. Oh, it's nice to see you. Wow, wow, great to hear from you. Great to see you, Jack Clare. I hope you're well. Let's see. All right. Oh gosh. Oh, 5 bags of popcorn. Wow, thank you so much for the super chat. Wow, $5. Wow, thank you. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. Oh gosh. All right. Oh, whoa. My computer froze for 1 second. Hold on. Uh-oh. Give me 1 second. And I gotta go soon, so but it's almost 9 here, but just give me 1 second here. 1 second. Uh-oh, it froze up. Gosh, why does it do this? It does this at the most inopportune time, I know, but oh well. Sorry about this. Give me 1 second here. Sorry, just let me reboot. Not reboot, but just close the window. And where was I? Where was I? Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm back. I hope I'm back. Am I back? Okay. Yep, I'm back. Okay. Let's see. Where was I? Oops. Where was it? Jack Clare, I mentioned you, Jovial Josh. Trevor Renstrom. Okay, here we go. Trevor, is that right? Or like Trevor Renstrom. So, are you a fan of Andrzej Zulawski? Oh, okay. Zulawski. So, yes. So the work, I think that gets a lot of attention. Obviously, Possession. I've spoken, I think, a little bit about Possession on this channel, but just a little bit. I really should try to get back to. There's a lot to say about that film, but it's again so much to talk about, so little time. So little time. Zyrother is talking about Suspiria Inferno. Oh gosh, yes. Did I mention my recent Inferno Argento story? I was moving, and it was before the move, so a couple weeks ago, and I had just very little DVDs and Blu-rays left in the house, the old house. But I had just a couple, and I thought, oh, I just want to have some Argento films. I kept the Argento films, I kept the Brian De Palma films, I kept the Lynch film, Cronenberg, I kept those there, so I could watch them. And one of the films I was just at late night after all this busy moving and stuff was Inferno from 1980, right? And so I don't want to spoil it too much. I don't want to go into too much details for those who haven't seen Inferno, but I was watching it, and I've seen it so many times, but I was just so sleepy. I just kind of drifted off to sleep, and I woke up, and it was the moment, where it was like, that was just, oh my god. And I think my heart skipped a few beats. That's a really freaky moment. Yeah, but anyway, I don't want to mention anymore for those who haven't seen it. So please, if you enjoyed Phenomena, let me put it this way: if you enjoyed the film Phenomena, I think the next places to go will probably be Suspiria or Inferno, maybe even Opera, Tenebrae, Deep Red. And then you can go into the world of, say, the Animal. It's the what's known as the Animal trilogy. Bird with Crystal Plumage, Cat o' Nine Tails. Four Flies on Grey Velvet is, I think, a little bit difficult to get, but not impossible. But those are the places to go, I think. And then after you're done with everything up to and prior to opera, that's what you should go to. And then there's everything pre-opera and post-opera. in my view. So uh, it's yeah, but I think my favorite still has to be probably yeah it's Suspiria Deep Red Tenebrae. It's always those are always the ones that are fighting for top place there. But maybe at the moment now, maybe when I do a ranking Dario Argento? Yeah, I did, right? It was I think at the time I think it was Suspiria, I think, but now it's Deep Red perhaps. Although Suspiria is always there. Um, Deep Red is another. It's such a important film for me. Um, Gosh, yeah. I remember watching Deep Red. It was Deep Red, The Hatchet Murderers on VHS in the US, and it was the kind of truncated version. And then when I saw the it was a DVD with the international release version. It was longer and had more scenes with Gianna and all, and Daria Nicolodi character, and so it was so great, so great indeed. And that becomes now the standard of all the Deep Red releases now. But it was once upon a time it was called Deep Red: The Hatchet Murders on VHS. So yeah, it was really great. But anyway, um, let's see. Anyway, sorry about this. I'm just going off and off. I apologize. So let's see here. So 5 bags of popcorn. Thank you so much for the super chat. $5 super chat. Wow. On cinema at the cinema. Thank you very much for that earlier recommendation. It's sort of like a mockumentary or style. Thank you so much. Again, super chats. Again, they're totally voluntary, totally not necessary. You don't have to do it. I read all the comments, not just the super chat comments. I try to read all the comments, but I do appreciate super chats very much. I do appreciate that. I know money it's 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 not infinite. It's finite thing. I know, so I very much appreciate it. I can say too that. I did get a little bit of a financial hit, not so bad, but just a little bit of a financial hit in terms of the move and the such. And also, I mentioned too, my previous house, we had some really terrible neighbors who would be stealing our mail, or we thought we couldn't prove it, but we think that they were doing some things with our mail. So there are a number of orders, especially at the last minute, where I couldn't get, and so I lost some money on those orders. I couldn't get a refund on some of them. So uh, this will go a long way to help replenish those very much. Thank you so much for that 5 bags of popcorn. Really, thank you, thank you. Gerald Lang too. Thank you so much. Thank you. You are very kind. Yes, another $5 super chat. You say this is for the next Blu-ray purchase. I will take this. I will be very. I will handle this with great care and honor. Thank you so much to you, and 5 bags of popcorn, and also, yes, thank you, MC. Really kind. Thank you. Hold on here. All right, I'm gonna be out for another. I'll be here for another. There we go. Plugging that in. Let's see. Scrolling down here. So I've got to go very soon. I apologize. Corey Fichtner says, I'm scared of spiders, so I'm afraid to watch Phenomena. Are there a lot of them in the movie? No, I don't. Spiders. That's interesting. There are a lot of insects, but I don't know about. I've never done a count of all the types of insects you see in Phenomena. That might be an interesting project, but and I mean that quite sincerely. I don't seem to recall though there being a lot of spiders per se. There might be, but I don't think what sticks out is not the spiders. So, um, okay. Analysis of sci-fi. You have to go work on. Good luck with your book. I hope all is well. So nice to see you. So, just scrolling down. Okay, sorry. Yep, just I'm gonna be off. I have to go soon. So let us maybe start to wind down. So if there's some last minute comments or so, I apologize if I haven't addressed everything. I am very sorry, but I will try to make up for it in any way that I can. But I'll stick around for a couple minutes here, and then we can be on our way. So, Christian's Hobby Blog. There we go. Yes, Christian's Hobby. There's another channel to support. Christian's Hobby Blog. Very good. Nice. If you have a YouTube channel that you want to plug, let me know. If it's, as long as it's something that you can, if it doesn't necessarily have to be movie related, but if it's something that is not, if it's something that, just you let me know what kind of channel it is and stuff, I'd be very happy to help support. I don't have that much of a, I don't have that much influence, I think, but if it's worth anything, then let me know, so I can be very happy to be there. So, um, all right. So, but I'm getting off. Uh, yeah, just turning off very soon. So we'll see. Um, let's see here. Learn. Mandolinas. So hello. You say you just saw Eastern Promises. Wow. So this is the Cronenberg film. Yes. Very, very, very memorable film indeed. There are a lot of scenes that are very memorable as well. It's the more one digs into it, the more kind of sinister the world is. Very much part of the Cronenberg aesthetic in many ways. So I hope you're well, my dear friend. Damn Fool Idealistic Crusaders here. Oh, it's nice to see you. Yes, yes. If you still need background audio while finishing moving, some of my new reviews are pretty long. No, 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 no. Long, not long. They're not long enough. I think they should go. They should be longer, and you go as long as you want, my dear friend. I was listening, by the way. Speaking of Damful, I've been listening to a lot of the unreleased tracks of James Bond songs, and so the one that I have at the moment in my head is the Swan Lee's "Tomorrow Never Dies." I'm just another kind of girl, right? That's so cool. Anyway, what I have? Yes, I was just reading because it was the music of James Bond book. But anyway, I hope you're well, my dear friend. That's another channel to support. Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader. So if you haven't checked out that channel and subscribe to the channel, get this. Uh, um, I'm okay with the channel. With my channel, I'm very happy for the support. I'm very happy. But continue to support all the channels and all the people, all these commentators. They're called content creators, or the phrase content creators is used that, but these are people like you and me, and they're talking about this stuff. But it does take time. It does take some effort. It does oftentimes take spending money to get lights, to get certain setups, camera equipment, and stuff. So it's not always very cheap. Any kind of support you can give to people that you like to listen to, you watch podcast channels and the like, please do so. And it can be in any form. It doesn't have to always be in a monetary form. That helps, of course, in some aspects, of course, but it doesn't always have to be. Just your being there, just maybe stopping by for a few seconds to say hi, and that's it. If you don't have that much time in your own busy schedule, whatever it is you can, just support everyone. I think the most important thing too is, it's like, uh, I can't tell you enough just how important that is to get to know and to discover that there's someone else out there who's like watching your stuff, or there's someone else out there who's listening. That goes so far. It really does. It really does. And if you if maybe if you're uncomfortable with commenting, and that's fine. I'm not saying you have to go out of your way in a way that is uncomfortable to you, in a way that is totally with you and that's consistent with you, that's consistent with how you feel and the way that you want to go about with things, outside of or within, totally within your comfort zone. If in that way you can support others through watching or commenting, or whatever it is, Patreon, whatever they can, subscribing, following, if they can do any of that, it really goes a long way. So I've mentioned a couple channels here already: Horrible Show, Christian's Hobby Blog, Clark Tettles, A Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader, and other, if there are any other channels that you want to talk about, I'll try to do more live streams here. You know, the only thing I ask is just please don't take advantage of me or the people here. You know, we are coming at this from a place of real. We do want to. We are trying to listen to everyone and trying to be as earnest here as possible. So as long as you can kind of respect other people here and just share with us a little bit about that. We're always very happy. I'm always very happy to listen. You know, so as long as there's that, you let me know if there's something that we can do in terms of the things that you want to talk about. I might not always agree with the things that you videos and the like, and maybe it might not necessarily be my cup of tea per se. So there might be that aspect as well that we might have to consider. But usually, for what it's worth, film related stuff, film related channels are good to go for me. So you let me know anything about that. So yeah. Uh, all right. Let's see. Right, guys, 5622. So I want to plug MC. Interesting. It's nice to see you. Brian Guy 5622. I hope you're well. 5 bags of popcorn. Thank you very much. 5 bags. 5 bags of popcorn, yes. Chris Higgins talks about Barry Lyndon. Yes. Very nice. Uh, Gerald says, "Who's your favorite film score composer?" I can't say. I can't name one. I guess I have Argento on my brain now. So Goblin, or maybe I mentioned Mishima, so Philip Glass. But there's so many. I mentioned Carpenter as well. So we can also mention John Barry. Of course, we mentioned a little bit about James Bond. Damn Full Idealistic Crusader, by the way. I did watch No Time to Die again. Well, yeah. Yeah. Anyway. I hope you're well. Brian Schmella is here with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. And you say all the best. No, all the best to you. You know, I know that especially in these times, you know, prices are rising and stuff. So totally unnecessary, but you are very kind to do this. So thank you so much for this. Thank you. Brian Schmella, thank you for the super chat. You're very kind. I hope you're well. Thank you. Orbital Robot is here. Nice to see you as well. Scott, it's always great. I mentioned you earlier, but it's always great to see you. Yes. Seth Walsh, thank you. Max Blind 20 says just came out of screening for Jordan Peele's Nope. I've heard a lot about this, but I haven't seen it yet. So very one. And you say, do you plan to catch this one in the theaters? I'll try. I'll certainly try because I have heard a lot. But if you recommend it, then I will certainly try to do so. Thank you for the recommendation. Thank you. Arthur MMR says, "Did you get anything cool from the Arrow video?" So no, unfortunately, you know, it came, or it's still going as at the summer sale. So I know a little bit about it, but I haven't been able to focus on any purchases because I've just been so up to my ears in moving details. So I have heard some people enjoying that very much. So that's great. Yeah, I wish I could take advantage of that, but alas, maybe not now. But as I mentioned, the recent Arrow get I was able to have was the 4K of Tenebrae, so I was very happy about that. Um, yeah, yeah, um, yeah. Anyway, I was going to make a Tenebrae reference, but I don't want to do that for people who haven't watched Tenebrae. Anyway, I hope you're well. And did you get anything? If you had, please let me know. I'll be on the chat here. I'll be on the live stream just for a couple more minutes, and I'm gonna go. So, all right. So Max Blind 20. Yes. Again, talking about no follow up to your comment about Nope. So, so great. Gucci Man Lips. Hello, it's nice, and you say, "Oh, it's nice to see you." Thank you, Jimmy Goodman, with another the super chat. Thank you, Euro 199 euro. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jimmy Goodman. I hope you're well. And you say top 3 favorite Bresson. Oh, Robert Bresson films. My number one director. You know, I just between you and me, I like to do director series discussions, and Bresson was on the list or is on the list. So, um, yeah, let's see. Top three. Very difficult to pick top favorites. I would say maybe as a kind of general proposition, and again, let's say it's not definitive. Um, mm, maybe up there would be on Condamné Mort s'est échappé, which is, did I get the French right? So A Man Escaped. And then I would say Au hasard Balthazar, and then Pickpocket. Um, I have a particular fondness for Pickpocket. I think Pickpocket was another of those early discoveries, discoveries from early in my life, and yeah, it was like a revelation. That film was like a revelation. I couldn't get my head around the model philosophy, the philosophy of the how actors, the performances are portrayed on screen. I'm using a shorthand here, model. So, but it was like it was a thrilling thing. It was so stirring, and I think as we go on, there's a certain cynicism, one can say, and there's a certain bleakness that enters into his filmography as we get on, especially into the realm of, say, Balthazar or Mouchette and beyond, as you know, up to L'Argent. But and that is something that is very challenging as well. But I would say maybe those films. But well done. That's a great pick as a number one favorite director. Um, well done indeed. I mean, I didn't mention to Diary of a Country Priest. I think, yeah, Diary of a Country Priest is um, like, I had a film professor who I wasn't a film student, but I took film studies courses, and one of my professors at the time said, anyone, like he was so insistent that everyone see Diary of a Country Priest. And at the time it was I don't think it got a lot of attention in terms of the class, but it was so, there was a way in which, I mean, I talk about the bleakness of the world. There's a way in which that has a how should I put it, um, it asks you to look outside the boundaries of the film world itself in order to find any hope of optimism. Now, that type of question that is being posed by the film on the viewer is something that is very challenging for me as a viewer. And I think that is one way, in my own very crude understanding of it. And again, I'm very shallow intellectually when it comes to these sorts of things. But that is my way of trying to wrap my head around what this thing is that is, say, uh, oftentimes discussed in what's the phrase that's used by Schrader, right? Transcendental style in film, is that right? So that's my way of trying to wrap my head around that. But the point is, it is a film that invites one to question and to consider the world outside of the film itself, which I think is fascinating. So, and it goes along, and whether one wants to call that something metaphysical, if you want to call that something in terms of transcendentalism, if you want to call that something in terms of spiritualism in film, I think you can go the route, especially if you hear some of the conversations, say, by Martin Scorsese and others about this filmmaker. That's great. But that is a yeah, what a filmmaker. What a filmmaker that is. Uh, and the idea too about Bresson that I really find so fascinating is transformation. Transformation. Now, this idea of transformation is transformation within the body, corporeal transformation, or transformation from the body, the corporeal realm, into the spiritual, the ethereal realm. This is very important, and it's how that transformation is captured. It's not always captured successfully in cinema, but when it's done well, it is done very, very well. And one can say with great confidence that it is done so very well in the hands of the filmmaker Robert-Bresson. So that is Jimmy. I'm sorry. That is my very, very loose and not so good way to describe it. But I hope you can forgive me. But it's a great choice, by the way. Damn Fool's mentioning the Citizen Kane discussion about. Oh, you talked about Leone. So for a few dollars more, that's another project that I'm planning here. Sergio Leone. I was thinking of doing the Sergio Leone film discussion just in a series of close-ups on my face. But anyway, that's a joke. That's a Sergio Leone joke. But anyway, um, let's see. Okay. Scrolling down. Guy 5 6 years is the joke about no time to die. Let's see. And from Jean, Chris Higgins. Yes. Speaking about yes. Oh, so I did go to. I did go to when I was an undergrad. Yes, Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. It was a very interesting time. I mean, it had its good spots. It had its not so good spots. But among the good spots was my ability to watch all these films because the film library there it was called it was the Film Study Center. That was one of the key places of my life, and I was able to get I was work there, part-time job, campus job, and when you're, especially when you have I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm a Japanese citizen, so you're very limited in what you can do. So you can't work a certain number of hours, but you can work very set and on campus, and it was associated with school. So I was able to do that, and I worked as many hours as I could there because I could then watch all these films, and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. Just going to the back there, the library. It was this temperature-controlled room, and you see all these tapes, and you go in the other room, which had all these prints. And I learned how to use use a projector and all this. And it was great, great stuff. And I met all these people. I was just working there in the office one day. D.A. Pennybaker's in the room. You want to say, oh, D.A. Pennybaker? Oh, D.A. Pennybaker's here. Oh, hi, D.A. Pennybaker. How are you doing? And of course, it wasn't that nonchalant, obviously, because it's D.A. Pennybaker. I'm just this nobody, and he's just talking to all these people there. It's just D.A. Pennybaker. So, oh wow, it's D.A. Pennybaker. Anyway, what was I saying? So yes, so that was my time there. That's an example. Skull is here. Hey Daisuke, I missed most of this, but I'll see you in the next one. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't announce it. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Jerry Goldsmith or Orbital Robot and Bri Guy 5622. I mentioned I had a series of live streams recently on Star Trek films, and oh gosh, that reminds me too. That's another thing I have to get. The 4K releases of the Star Trek movies. That's right. Oh gosh, is the motion picture one that's gonna come out in September? Is that right? Oh gosh, if that's the case, I've gotta get on that one. Yes. Speaking of Jerry Goldsmith, in the Star Trek the motion picture live stream discussion, I mentioned that there. I think if I didn't, then I'll mention it here now, which is the opening scene with the Klingons and the cloud. This is the very opening scene. This is perhaps, it could be my favorite piece of music in any Star Trek thing, series or film. It's that piece of music, and this Jerry Goldsmith. And what I love about Jerry Goldsmith and what he does, especially in a lot of his films, but in particular, or as an example with Star Trek the Motion Picture, he takes a pulse, he takes a beat, and it's essentially coming from nothing. It's out of thin air. But it happens in a number of key spots in that film, Star Trek the Motion Picture. It happens at the very start with the Klingon attack. There's a bit where the final Klingon battle cruiser is trying to escape, and they're trying, the captain or the commander of the Klingon cruisers is doing one last ditch effort to attack with aft torpedoes. Bach! And then you hear the plasma thing or whatever it is. Is it plasma? I'm not sure. But the white ball of energy from the cloud is coming now. It's like a torpedo or something. It's bigger than a torpedo. And then the Jerry Goldsmith music, it goes. And it just builds from nothing. That is one of the examples of the genius. There's another moment when that happens. It's referred to as Spock Walk. and there's a thing where there's a big orb of energy, and Spock says, "I must mind meld with this." That is one leap of logic. I don't know where it came from. You see this huge energy, electricity, dangerous looking thing. What's the first thing I do if I'm in the middle of like anti-gravity space and there's this huge ball of energy in front of me? The first thing I do is, oh gosh, I want to touch it and mind meld with it. So that's what he does in that moment. But anyway, that's beside the point. Jerry Goldsmith music kicks in. Again, it builds essentially from nothing. It's like a beat. Dun 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 dun. That Spock walk. Oh, it's brilliant, brilliant. So that's an example of where I think Jerry Goldsmith is amazing. Anyway, Scott Johansson, thank you so much for the super chat, $2. Very, very kind of you. Chris Higgins asks, what were your film watching habits in college? I don't remember necessarily. Although, as I said, I did try to watch as many as possible. Okay, here we go. I watched at least a film a day. At least. Yes. Gosh. Let's see. Anwar Kasi is here. I hope that, yes, it's okay. Sorry for not announcing this ahead of time. I'm very, very sorry about that. Let's see, just scrolling down here because I have to go. It's already 9:30, so I have to go very soon. So if I skipped over your name, I'm very sorry, but I'll try to get as many here. Colby S is here. You have Art of Buster Keaton sets on Laserdisc. Well done. Well done. Avanish Chandrasekharan. It's nice to see you. And you say, I love your channel and love your love for Criterion. That's very kind of you. Thank you. And let's see. I wish I could be in Tokyo or you in London. You're a film student in London. I wish you well in London. I used to live in London many, many years ago, or not in London. Why? My dad lived in London for a bit. Before that we lived in Surrey, just south of London. We lived in Guildford for a little bit, and then we lived in Woking for a little bit. Do they have those? There's great places in Surrey. There's a place in Surrey called Leatherhead, I think. Bagshot. Oh gosh, there was a kennel. I think it was in Ripley. Ripley's. It was, and that was where the kennel for dogs. That was where we got our Canin Terrier. Who's no longer with us now, but the terrier's name we named Maggie. So I think it was a Ripley, or is it Send? Ripley and Send, are they near each other in Surrey? I forget exactly. Again, please, I apologize for my lack of expertise over the geography of Surrey. But yes, Weybridge. Yes, I had a dear friend. One of my best friends lived in Weybridge. His house was so cool. I always loved going over his house because he had such a cool. He had a Nintendo. And we'd play. It was called. I mean, what was it? It was. Why am I on the English title? Mega Man. Yes, it was Mega Man. So do I have that right? Mega Man. And so because it's under a different title in Japanese. But anyway, I hope you're well. Thank you. Best of luck with your film studies too. Sorry. Yeah. Gucci, man lips. Sorry, yes, I was talking about yes, Bresson films, I think. So okay, here we go. All right, so Max, yes, okay, Max Blind 20. Thank you. Weybridge, Cobham, Escher, West Byfleet, yes, Wilkinson, Ripley, Leatherhead, yes. Okay, what a strange coincidence. Okay, yes, West Byfleet. I do recall West Byfleet. Yes. What was it? What's the highway? Is it the A3? Do I have that right? It's not the A5. It's the A3. Is it? Do they still have the A3? Anyway, Adam Kennedy is here. Yes, nice to see you. Anwar Kasi, I love a discussion on Ozu. There have been some discussions on this channel on Ozu, not many, but we did a live stream once many months ago, I think over a year ago, on Ohio Good Morning, for example. Inframagine says, Connecticut was my home 82 to 2013. Oh, interesting. So there would be some overlap, actually. So I was in Connecticut during some of that time. Interesting. Danbury, just north of Danbury, New Hartford. Oh, interesting. So I was in Stamford and then Norwalk area, Darien area for a little bit. I remember in Norwalk that at the time they had Caldor and Bradley's, those stores there, and then across the way, I think it was across the way on the street from the Bradley's, they had that's where the Blockbuster video store would be for Norwalk, Connecticut. But anyway, yeah, that's a great coincidence. So there's a lot of people in Connecticut or have Connecticut connections. That's really great. That's really cool. Um, Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped over. Rady Boy 102998. So I'm sorry about this. Um, Hello, Daisuke. Thinking about getting the Criterion movie Showa. Not a huge fan of watching documentaries, but I really enjoy history. Okay, interesting. So I have spoken about this very maybe how should one put it? It is a very monumental and important work. I've spoken about this on this channel, I think in an earlier video, or I think it was a set of videos, because there's a lot of information that is in that film. And so I think the Criterion version, I think, does a pretty good job in doing that. But I would also recommend getting, if you can, there's a book, Showa, that can be purchased separately, which actually it's a kind of like a transcript of the book, because a lot of times it's especially upon initial viewing, there's just so much information that's being spoken about, so many people speaking, that it might be difficult to keep track of things that are being spoken about while it's being watched. So it's a film that I would recommend spending a lot of time with if you have the time. It doesn't have to be immediate, it can be over the course of many years, but and also trying to get as much information, as much research, and as much of much of the information as you can in watching it. So, but anyway, thank you very much, and I hope you're well. Thank you. All right. Um, Corey mentions also Hitchcock. So I didn't know about, yes. So it's his birthday. I didn't know about that. If it's his birthday, what, tomorrow that you mentioned. So I did watch a lot of Hitchcock films because of the recent 4K releases as well. So. So here, okay, here is my for anyone who's a Hitchcock expert. Here is my impersonation from a moment in the film The Birds. Okay, The Birds from '63. Okay, here we go. Here is my Hitchcock moment from The Birds. Here we go. All right, did you get that reference? Okay, all right. Anyway, so sorry about that. Again, I'm very bad with my impersonations and the like. So, okay. Anyway, so how many are we almost done here? It's past 9:30 here. Oh gosh, I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I have to go. What should I have? I'm itching for a chocolate donut. At the moment, I really want a chocolate donut. I don't think we have any donuts. Maybe I have to go out and get one. That's okay. That's okay. I'm itching for a chocolate donut, but I say I'll stick around for a few more minutes. But here you are, my dear friends. You are being such lovely company. I don't want to go. I want to stick around. It's lovely to see. So okay, I'll stick around for a few more minutes. Oh, Max Blind 20 goes on with the great things. Here we go. M25, M23. Thank you. Go to Gatwick Airport. Yes, that's right. Let's see. Anything else I remember? Woking, Guildford, and High Street. Do they still have the High Street and Main Street at Guildford? I remember when I was there too. Stores close at 5:30 in the afternoon. I think that was also the first time where I tried baked beans on toast. The first time I had baked beans on toast, I'm so sorry, I didn't like it, but then I grew to love it, and now I love baked beans on toast. But my kids, I think there was an occasion where we could buy baked beans on toast. I said, "Oh, kids, you should try it." And they couldn't get into it, but that's okay. That's okay. Um, oh gosh, and I mean, I mentioned it before, but this is around the time too where Home and Away, the Australian soap opera, was debuting, and you could see it. And so this is with what was her name? What was the name of the parents? I remember what was it? It was Alf and Elsa. They weren't the parents though. I forget the husband's name, but the wife's name was Pippa, and they adopted the children, one of which being Bobby. And also you had at the school, right, Mr. Fisher, who was kind of like the Mrs. Mangle of Home and Away. And so yeah, it was really interesting times. What was the name of Alf's daughter? Rue, was that her name? Rue? Do I have that right? Anyway, are there any Home and Away experts there? Can you please correct me if I have my details wrong? Anyway, yes. Stephen Jones is here saying, greetings, Daisuke. Which director do you think will be represented next by Criterion with a box set? Not sure. Again, I'm not so good with my predictions. I can say, um, I can say, I mean, I can say what my hopes are. I mean, I think um, in terms of films that have already more or less been included in the Criterion collection, but then seen box set releases, like huge box set releases. I mean, the Bergman set is a great example of that. The Bergman box set came out at a time where a lot of his films, not all of them, but a lot of his films had good representation in the Criterion collection already. The same is true, I think, similarly for that DVD set of the Kurosawa films that came out and came in wet. I think, anyway. And so, in that way, I could definitely see an Ozu set happening. That would be really cool. Something similar happened, although maybe not quite the same with the Agnes Varda set. Although I think that the Agnes Varda set is one of the great ones. Um, but I'd love to see Ozu set. I think too. Um, talking about directors, I, I suppose people have been mentioning too. Oh, it would be great to have that Kurosawa set and a Blu-ray or something higher. That might be interesting. I think Ozu set would be phenomenal. I think um, I've also heard people wishing for a Lynch set. That could happen. But if they do, I wish they include Dumbland. All right, let's see. GK Fan 69 says Criterion needs to do more Easter eggs, but I feel it's becoming more of the thing of. I agree. Those are really cool. Max Blind said, "What are the odds, Daisuke? Those are really small towns. How was your overall experience living in Surrey?" I loved it. It was one of the happiest moments of my life, and so tranquil and peaceful. And it was. I associate so many lovely memories with that time. I discovered when I was living in England during that time. That was when I discovered Doctor Who, Sylvester McCoy. Dragonfire, the end of episode 1 of Dragonfire, or part 1 of Dragonfire. It's a literal cliffhanger. And so, is it Dragonfire? Is that one, the one where he's hanging off of a like an icicle cliff with he just oddly climbs down and just hangs off of his umbrella, and that's the end of the part. Where it was great. Right, so that was my discovery of Doctor Who. So Sylvester McCoy. So Sylvester McCoy is in many ways my doctor. Although if you had to ask me, I mean, I'm part of the chorus of Doctor Who fans. When you say what's your favorite Doctor Who, you always go with K's of Androzani. So anyway, oh gosh, all right. What's your favorite Gleaming TV is here? What's your favorite food? Do you like yakiniku? I love yakiniku. Yes, I love yakiniku. I have gyoza yakiniku, ramen. I think my favorite food is probably mapo tofu. Marbled. If ever one wanted to, like I know, like if I get into a fight with a friend or something, all they do is if they can buy marbled tofu, all is forgiven. So or something like that. Or um, there's a Japanese ice candy called gari gari kun. So I'm a big fan of gari gari kun. I love gari gari kun. That's my favorite ice candy. Um, Lightning McQueen says, "Sorry to be off topic, but what kind of shirt are you wearing?" It's very nice. Oh, thank you. It's just a plain shirt. I think we got it from Uniqlo. I think it's a Uniqlo shirt, so very cheap in terms of the price. I think we got it on sale or something. So, thank you very much for noticing. Thank you. And David is here. David Brizuela is here. The Last Waltz is one of the best releases of this year. I always revisit it with the same joy. Oh, yes, yes. That is a phenomenal release. It's great to see. Yeah, we had the great pleasure of being able to discuss that here on this channel a little bit. The Criterion releases that. So, anyway, yes, yes, well done. Takoyaki no Osaka, and says Mike. I agree. I agree. We recently went to Japan or Osaka Universal Studios, and almost every night we were there. We were eating takoyaki. It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, great. Gosh, great. And so that's where we got the Jaws mug. And yeah, I put some pictures up on Instagram. Again, it sounds like I'm plugging my Instagram account. It's not really. Again, only for those who are interested. That's where I do a more slightly personal stuff. So if you are interested in a little bit of the personal side of me, you can check out the Instagram account. Again, Daisuke Beppu 4, the number 4, because there are 3 other Daisuke Beppus in the world who have Instagram accounts. So. But if you follow them as well, please give them love as well. But I'm number 4, so Daisuke Beppu number 4. So Daisuke Beppu 4. So I have some pictures from Universal Studios. I rode the Jurassic Park. Was it the Flying Dinosaur ride? Oh my goodness, this is one of the scariest things I ever rode in my life. It's the thing where you ride it and then you suddenly go horizontal, and then you ride the roller coaster like in this way, and it twists around. Oh my goodness. Absolutely scary stuff. Scary stuff. But when I was younger, I loved roller. They call them Japanese jet coasters, but to hear roller coasters. When I was a kid, I used to love that stuff. And we go to Tokyo Disney Sea, Tower of Terror. It was great stuff. It was Journey Center of the Earth, or Center of the Earth, and the like. But now I'm scared, absolutely scared. I can't deal with it. So. But I had to ride it once, and so I rode it by myself. My family, my wife, and kids were down at the bottom. So as I was going up on the incline, just because it was going to shoot off into this swirl of the roller coaster, I saw my kids and I waved to them, but I couldn't wave because I was just holding on for dear life to the seat there because I was so scared because it was just going up and just swirling. Oh man! So that was, what was it called? The Flying Dinosaur, the Flying something. Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, I forget what it is, but yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, so yes, I'm so sorry. I'm just totally go off on all these things. I'm very sorry about that. Yes, Lucas Plug ABC Universal now. So let's see. Let's see. All right. I think I'm going to be calling it a day here. So thank you very much for your time, my dear friends. Really, thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. And I will try to be back in full swing of things as soon as we're more settled in. But maybe we'll have some more live streams and the like. Again, it's just a random thing, so nothing of any significant change or discord or the like, but it's just I wanted to take this opportunity to touch base with all of you. So thank you very much. Any last second things? Let's see. Corey and Bry Guy, thank you. Scott, thank you. Mike, Gerald, thank you. Max Blind 20, thank you. Lightning McQueen, thank you. I hope all is well. And everyone else, thank you. Anwar Kasi, Avanish, thank you. Gleaming TV, try to again, GK fan, thank you. And everyone else who's there, thank you so much. Schlock Horror, oh, great. Just in time. Yes, well done. Thank you. It's great to see you. And Jovial Josh, yes, not a problem. Thank you. And thank you, Jovial Josh, for sharing that thing about Phenomena. Please continue your Argento journey and let me know. Keep me posted about what other Argento films you like or don't like, as the case may be. If there are some kind of films as well, I'd love to hear about that as well. Anytime, anytime, my friend. Oh, Jeff, great. Made it just in time. No worries. There will be more, I hope. What 890 is here. Nice to see you. Watch Valley of the Dolls and Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. Oh, great. Oh, wow. Um, I've spoken a little bit about the former on this channel. Great. And you said, Jovial, I just ordered 6 Argento films on Blu-ray. Oh, wow, great. I wonder what they are, by the way. Can you let me know? What are those 6? Let me know, and then I'll end. I'll stick around until I can't. My curiosity is getting the best of me. What are those 6, Jovial Josh? Let me know. If not, that's okay. If you don't want to share, that's fine. Oh, my dog Kohara is here. All right. Oh, maybe not. That's okay, Jovial Josh. If that's if not now, you can always share with me later. That's not a problem. All right. Okay. All right. Maybe there's a delay, I think. Yeah, there's a little bit of delay, but that's okay. All right. So, oh, great. Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. Tenebrae, Inferno, Trauma, Giallo. There's one more. Okay. Um, oh, actually, I don't know. I don't know if you can. Uh, I I would I would hold off on the film Giallo. My own personal take on the film Giallo by Argento is it is one of um, it is one of the films where I really don't like that film. I've mentioned a little bit about on this one. I love Argento. I love Argento films. Don't get me wrong, but Giallo is a film where I feel like uh, I, if I were you, I would maybe take the very precious money and funds that you have. If you can still cancel that order, I would cancel it and then maybe spend it on something else. I wouldn't spend it on the film Giallo. It's not worth it. If you can cancel that order on Giallo, I would strongly recommend that. It's not worth it. I can say it is for me. It is if I don't usually like to talk about films that I hate, but I can probably say that it's one of the films I really don't like at all, and for a lot of reasons. So if you can cancel that for Giallo, I would strongly recommend that. All right. Okay. All right. So you got Giallo for very cheap. That's fine. That's fine. If that's the case, that's okay. Not a problem. Um, but yeah, I've mentioned a little bit about it in a video, but I felt like it was a very I felt kind of it really it was like it really did something for someone. I really love Argento films. I really do. And so I felt like it was a type of almost type of kind of a betrayal in many ways, or a cheat in many ways. And so I have a lot of I think there are a lot of interesting things that because I've sung the praises of Dracula 3D, and I've also talked very highly of other films like The Card Player and the like. And there are some moments of Mother of Tears that I really enjoy. I saw that in the theater as well. But for the life of me, I think Giallo is one that I just I would not recommend that one. So if you can get it for cheap and it doesn't hurt the wallet, that's fine. Okay. And please, there are so many in the world of Argento that I hope you enjoy. So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, and please let me know. Yes, and David says please if people want to watch Giallo. Yes, thank you. Yes, that's fine. And if you anyone who loves Giallo, let me know, and I'm very happy to listen to it. But I've mentioned there was a video about it that I mentioned during many years ago during the discussion on Argento, and I mentioned I think there, I forget exactly what I said, but if I had to paraphrase or I had to recall what it was, I said it was something like I felt it was a cheat. I felt like it was setting up something because if you use the word giallo in the context of an Argento film, that is already a loaded phrase. That is a phrase, therefore, that carries with it so much meaning and weight and import because of all the history. Like Argento and giallo, he didn't invent the genre, but he certainly pioneered it in ways that were unmistakably he changed the face of the genre forever. He did. You go to Bird with the Crystal Plumage, he changed the face of the genre forever. You go to Deep Red, he changed the face of the genre forever. You go to Tenebrae, he takes it in a totally different level. And then you use that same history and you use it as a type of tagline, and you use it as a type of say a marketing tool to 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 sell, to make a profit. I find that to be I found it to be like a betrayal. And I was like, I've been loving these films for so much. I love Dario Argento films. I love the giallo genre. I love what he did with the genre. And you seem to be, and I'm whoever it was that was responsible for the marketing, producing of that film, they seem to be taking that idea and just almost like, I don't know, I felt like spitting in my face. Like I love these films so much. I spent so much years of my cinema loving life watching this, and you're taking this and almost taking advantage of me like this. That's how I felt when I watched Giallo, and that's how I still feel when I think about Giallo. So that's my very impassioned plea to maybe but if you got it for cheap, that's fine. But if you get it for like very expensive price, then I would definitely hold off. It's not worth the expensive price. So you take it from me. I don't like to talk about films that I don't like, but here's one that I really dislike, which is Giallo. So, but anyway, not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah. Um, uh, and I'm sorry you weren't able to enjoy. So that's not a problem at all. No need to apologize. And I don't know what the end result of why it ended up that way. I'd like to think that it wasn't Dario Argento's fault, and I'd like to think that it was probably something on the producer side or the marketing side or the business side more than anything else. But again, I don't know. There's a lot of interesting shady stuff that there in the details in terms of what's been reported about that, what hasn't been reported about that. Who knows? Maybe that might be a nice subject matter for a book. Someone can write the book, the definitive behind-the-scenes story of what happened in the making of the film Giallo. But until then, I think it's one that I might revisit. But just it's I'd like to think that I have an open mind, but maybe for that film, my mind is not open enough. Who knows? Maybe that's the issue. But um, interesting. So and then again, I'm very open to hearing any different perspectives. If someone can turn me on to the aspects of giallo that make it worthwhile, I'm always happy to hear that. I'm always very happy to hear that because I'm very, I was speaking to someone the other day or yesterday, in fact, about I wasn't a big fan of Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Crystal Skull. But this person was, and this person was explaining to me why she felt that it was a really good film. And I thought about it, and I thought, oh, that's really interesting. So it turned me to better appreciating Temple of the Crystal Skull. So, or King, I'm sorry, not what did I say? Temple, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Excuse me, what did I say? Temple, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So this person turned me on to Crystal Skull. So anyway, if you have any thoughts about Giallo, please let me know. And if you feel very strongly positive about it, please let me know. I'd love to hear about it anytime. All right. So on that note, yeah, let's call it a day. So thank you so much, my dear friends, and I hope all is well. Magnitude Rev, it's nice to see you. I hope you're well, and I hope. And Ivan M, it's nice to see you. And be well and cheers. I'll talk to you again very soon. Thank you. Cheers.